Chapter 1446. The black light was about to hit Lu Ming's glabella. At this moment, Lu Ming's glabella lit up and the lightning cauldron rushed out. The lightning cauldron expanded to 10,000 feet in size and blocked in front of Lu Ming. The black light hit the lightning cauldron and the cauldron shook violently. Lightning flashed in the sky and destroyed the black light. Holy battle weapon! The soul destroyer Shakyamuni roared. Great! A lightning-attributed holy battle weapon is the perfect counter for you. Looks like the heavens are not looking after you. A lightning-attributed holy battle weapon is enough to deal with you. Emperor Tsong exclaimed in surprise. At the same time, Emperor Tsong's voice rang in Lu Ming's mind. Kid, lend me your holy battle weapon. Alright. Lu Ming did not hesitate. With a thought, the lightning cauldron flew forward. The Azure Emperor flapped his wings, causing the lightning cauldron to rapidly fly towards him. Not only that, the lightning cauldron rapidly expanded until it was about the same size as the Azure Emperor. Boundless lightning crackled around it, exuding an incomparably terrifying aura. Is this the true power of the lightning cauldron? Lu Ming's eyes widened. He now knew that the lightning cauldron was a holy battle weapon. In the past, Lu Ming could only unleash a tiny bit of its power. With Lu Ming's cultivation, he could not unleash much of the lightning cauldron's power. But now that the lightning cauldron was in Emperor Tsong's hands, it was completely different. The huge lightning cauldron pressed down on the soul destroyer Shakyamuni. Countless lightning bolts as thick as mountains bombarded the soul destroyer Shakyamuni. The soul destroyer Shakyamuni roared. The black light on his body twisted and there was even a sizzling sound as black smoke rose. His cultivation technique was perfectly countered by lightning. However, with his cultivation, if he was at his peak, the lightning cauldron would not be a threat to him. But now, he was extremely weak. The lightning cauldron was a huge threat to him. Moreover, it was under Emperor Tsong's control. Boom! Boom! The lightning cauldron pressed down slowly. Infinite lightning cauldrons drowned the soul extinguisher Shakyamuni completely. Tsong Di, you can't kill me. You can't kill me with just a supreme saint weapon. The soul destroyer Shakyamuni roared. I just need to suppress you temporarily. Tsong Di's voice rang out. Then, a voice echoed in Lu Ming's ears. Kid, I can't return this lightning cauldron to you for the time being. However, as compensation, I'll give you my storage ring. A ray of light flashed, shattering the void and appearing in front of Lu Ming in an instant. This was a storage ring, the Azure Emperor's storage ring. Lu Ming's heart began to race. He grabbed the storage ring. Kid, I'm going to bring the soul-destroying Discipline Emperor away from here. I'll use the force of the rift to suppress him. You guys should leave at once. The Tsong Emperor's voice rang out again. After that, Lu Ming felt a powerful force tugging at him and Lu Ming disappeared from this space. The next moment, Lu Ming appeared in the void. I'm out. Lu Ming looked ahead and saw a huge eagle. That was the Azure Emperor's chamber. He had exited from it. At this moment, the space around Lu Ming rippled and several figures appeared in the air. Those who entered the Azure Emperor's chamber were all teleported out, including Shi Tian, Wang Xiao, and the others. Damn it, what's going on? Wang Xiao roared. They were blocked by Dandan's tortoiseshell shield. They attacked with all their might and were about to shatter it, but at this moment, they were inexplicably teleported out. It was the same for the others. Some of them were about to obtain a treasure but were suddenly teleported out. They were extremely angry and unwilling. At this moment, the Azure Emperor's chamber let out a long cry. Then, under everyone's shocked gaze, it flapped its wings and flew into the depths of the sky. Rumble! In the depths of the sky, the space cracked open and the Azure Emperor's chamber flew into it and disappeared. What's going on? Why did the Azure Emperor's chamber suddenly fly away? No, it's my treasure. The scene was noisy. Some people roared and some were shocked. Lu Ming, is it because of you? Suddenly, a voice resounded, making many people quiet down. They couldn't help but look at Lu Ming. Wang Xiao. Lu Ming looked at Wang Xiao coldly. The person who roared just now was Wang Xiao. Lu Ming, you used despicable means to stop us. You were the only one who entered the core of the Azure Emperor's chamber. Not long after you entered, we were teleported out and the Azure Emperor's chamber flew away automatically. It must be because of you, Wang Xiao said coldly. What? Only Lu Ming entered the core of the Azure Emperor's chamber? He actually entered the core of the Azure Emperor's chamber? Many people looked at Lu Ming. They were surprised and deep in thought. That's right, Lu Ming. Did you obtain the Azure Emperor's inheritance and that's why the Azure Emperor's chamber flew away? Shi Tian stepped out and said coldly. His body was emitting a sacred light. Most of the people's eyes lit up when they heard this. They stared at Lu Ming with fervent gazes. The Azure Emperor's inheritance. When they thought of these 4 words, everyone's hearts burned with passion. I didn't obtain the Azure Emperor's inheritance, Lu Ming explained. Who would believe that? Lu Ming, you must have obtained the Azure Emperor's inheritance. Now hand it over. It's impossible for you to take it for yourself, Wang Xiao said. That's right, the Azure Emperor's inheritance is not something you can take for yourself, Shi Tian said. Yes, hand over the inheritance. Otherwise, today will be the day you die. It's best to search his storage ring and his soul. Everything will be clear so that he doesn't hide anything. Yes. The rest of the people shouted as well, staring coldly at Lu Ming. They slowly formed a circle, surrounding Lu Ming in the middle. What are you doing? Do you think there's no one in the Dragon God Valley? Senior and junior brothers, help Lu Ming. Qiu Yingying shouted from the crowd. Yes, senior brothers, let's help Lu Ming break out of the encirclement. Ruan Tian chimed in. Hee hee, what a joke. This is Lu Ming's personal feud with the other sections. Disciples of the Divine Dragon Valley, listen up. No one can help Lu Ming. Otherwise, if you offend the other sects because of your personal feud and cause the Divine Dragon Valley to become enemies with the other sects, you will bear the consequences. Yin Feng shouted. His voice could be heard from afar. When he found out that Lu Ming had entered the Azure Emperor's core, he was extremely jealous and wished that Lu Ming would die. That's right. Disciples of the Divine Dragon Valley, don't move. He said, and his powerful aura locked onto Qiu Yingying, Qiu Hao, Ruan Tian and the others. You're despicable. The elders have already said that we should work together. Qiu Yingying shouted. Shut up. Chapter 1447. Yingying, you don't have to say anything. These clowns can't do anything to me. Lu Ming's voice could be heard. Arrogant brat, hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance or you'll die a horrible death. Hurry up. The surrounding youths stared greedily at Lu Ming. I've already said that I didn't get Emperor Tsong's inheritance. Also, let me remind you, if you want to attack me, you'd better be prepared to be killed. Lu Ming said with a cold, murderous intent in his eyes. Ridiculous, we have so many people, let's see who you can kill. Wang Xiao sneered and stepped out. A battle sword floated above his head, emitting a terrifying aura. It was a sacred weapon. On the other side, Shi Tian stepped out with a sacred weapon above his head. Mo Jie did the same and appeared in another direction. In addition to the 3 of them, there were 3 other people who were leaders. They took out their sacred weapons and surrounded Lu Ming. 3 breaths, Lu Ming, I'll give you 3 breaths. If you don't hand over the Emperor's inheritance, you'll stay here forever. Wang Xiao said coldly. What? Then, Shi Tian started counting. The other youths looked coldly at Lu Ming, their murderous intent filling the air. They were ready to attack at any time. Shi Tian said again. Swoosh. At this moment, a pair of black wings appeared behind Lu Ming's back. With a flap, Lu Ming's figure soared into the sky. He's trying to escape. Don't even think about it. Wang Xiao, Shi Tian, and the other leaders reacted the fastest and chased after Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming suddenly stopped in midair. Then he changed his direction, passing by Shi Tian and the other 5 and dashing downward. Who said I'm trying to escape? Since you want to kill me, then I'll kill you. Lu Ming shouted and rushed into the crowd below. The black wings were like 2 heavenly blades that slashed across. Immediately, more than a dozen youths were cut in half. More than a dozen youths were killed in one move. Attack together and kill him! Someone shouted. Suddenly, countless attacks were launched at Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming's primal chaos domain spread out. The black feather wings enveloped the primal chaos domain, and its power was even more terrifying. With a sweep, some of the attacks were destroyed. Lu Ming rushed into the crowd as if there was no one around. With a sweep of his black feather wings, another dozen people were killed. Then, the black feathers on the black wings flew out like divine swords, piercing in all directions. Puff puff puff, one by one, the youths had their glabella or dantian pierced through. No, miserable shrieks rang out. In an instant, over 100 people had died at Lu Ming's hands. The smell of blood filled the air. Lu Ming, you evil demon! You willfully slaughter the innocent. Today, I must eliminate you! Roared Shirtian. His eyes had turned red. Half of the people Lu Ming had killed were disciples of the heavenly divinity sect. Evil demon? Killing the innocent? What a joke! You were the one who attacked first and wanted to kill me. I've already said that if you want to kill me, you should be prepared to be killed. Do you really think that I can't fight back when you want to kill me? Lu Ming's cold voice sounded. He flapped his black feather wings, avoiding Shirtian and the other leaders as he attacked the others. The other youths, even geniuses with innate spirit bodies, were no match for Lu Ming. One by one, the youths screamed miserably as they were killed by Lu Ming. Their attacks couldn't cause any harm to Lu Ming. The ground was covered with corpses. Soon, hundreds of people had died at the hands of Lu Ming. Outside the crowd, Yin Feng and the others gasped. This guy is getting more and more terrifying. I must find a chance to kill him. Yin Feng thought. Back off, all of you back off. Shirtian roared. Those youths frantically fled in all directions, as far as possible from Lu Ming. Shirtian and the other 5 pursued Lu Ming with all their might. Swoosh! Lu Ming's figure suddenly stopped. Shirtian and the other 5 once again surrounded Lu Ming. This time, they focused their energy and locked onto Lu Ming, fearing that Lu Ming would escape. Lu Ming, an evil demon like you can't stay in this world. Shirtian roared. Quickly hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance and I'll leave your corpse intact. Wang Xiao said coldly. Haha, do you really think that I'm afraid of you? Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. Bam! Lu Ming stepped forward and walked towards Wang Xiao. Let's attack together. Wang Xiao's eyes flashed with a trace of fear. He really didn't dare to face Lu Ming alone. Attack! Boom! 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 Shirtian and the rest activated their sacred weapons. The power of the sacred weapons erupted and they were about to attack Lu Ming. Chirp chirp! At this moment, the bubbles on Lu Ming's shoulders buzzed. Suddenly, 6 transparent bubbles appeared in the surroundings, enveloping Shirtian and the other 5 people. Kill! Lu Ming roared and charged towards Wang Xiao. Space-time domain. Wang Xiao roared as his mind trembled. At the same time, he pushed his saint weapon with all his might. A shocking sword chi slashed out violently. The transparent bubble trembled and was split open by the sword chi. The might of a sacred artifact was incomparably strong. The bubble would not be able to trap the 6 of them for long. The others also manipulated their sacred weapons to break the transparent bubble. But this moment was enough for Lu Ming. 9 seals of the divine gate, seal. Lu Ming shouted. 5 sealing portals suddenly appeared around Wang Xiao, emitting boundless multicolored light as they sealed Wang Xiao. As Lu Ming broke through to the martial monarch realm, Lu Ming had also achieved a breakthrough in the 9 seals of the divine gate, allowing him to cultivate 5 sealing portals. The 9 seals of the divine gate was a secret technique used by martial monarchs. It was extremely powerful. The 5 sealing portals sealed Wang Xiao in an instant. Kill! Lu Ming appeared in front of Wang Xiao and punched him. Boom! The power of the punch made Wang Xiao tremble in fear. Buzz! However, right at that moment, a suit of armor appeared on Wang Xiao's body and enveloped him completely. Lu Ming's punch landed on the armor. The armor vibrated and Wang Xiao was sent flying dozens of miles away. He crashed into a huge mountain and spat out a mouthful of blood. A sacred artifact armor. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This sacred artifact armor was most likely worn by Wang Xiao before he came in. Lu Ming sighed. These people are really rich. They even have a sacred artifact armor. Lu Ming's figure flashed as he charged toward Wang Xiao. Catch him! Stop him! Shi Tian and the others shouted as they charged toward Lu Ming. However, they were slower than Lu Ming. As soon as they moved, Lu Ming appeared in front of Wang Xiao. Don't think that I can't do anything to you just because you're hiding in your turtle shell, Lu Ming said coldly as he stomped down. Boom! Chapter 1448. Kill. At this moment, Shi Tian arrived. Get lost. Lu Ming grabbed one of Wang Xiao's legs and used Wang Xiao as a big hammer, swinging it toward Shi Tian. Boom! Shi Tian was sent flying by Wang Xiao. Ah, Lu Ming, I'll kill you! Wang Xiao roared as blood spurted from his mouth. Although he was protected by a sacred artifact armor, the continuous attacks still caused energy to seep in, causing him to be seriously injured. Nonsense! Lu Ming grabbed one of Wang Xiao's legs and swung it again, smashing it heavily on the mountain peak. The mountain peak trembled as gravel flew everywhere. A large crater was formed on the mountain peak. Wang Xiao wailed as he spat out another mouthful of blood. Just now, Wang Xiao and Shi Tian were the most arrogant. Lu Ming simply stared at one of them and ruthlessly tortured him until he was afraid. Boom! 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 Following that, Lu Ming swung Wang Xiao and smashed him crazily on the mountain peak. The mountain peak trembled as gravel flew everywhere. A large piece of the huge mountain peak was forcefully shattered. When Shi Tian, Mo Jie, and the rest were about to attack, Lu Ming swung Wang Xiao and smashed them. Wang Xiao was now covered by the armor and was like a sledgehammer. It was very convenient to use. In the distance, the others were dumbfounded. Wang Xiao was the leader of the 9 Heaven Sword sect in this great emperor's mystic realm. But now, he was in such a miserable state. He could not resist Lu Ming and was completely suppressed by Lu Ming. As for Wang Xiao himself, he even had thoughts of dying. He had lost all his face. Rumble. At this moment, a sudden change occurred. Heaven and earth shook violently. Moreover, the shaking became more and more intense. It was as if the entire world was shaking violently. Boom! Boom! Following that, the ground cracked open and lava rushed out 1,000 feet high. Not good, this mystic realm is about to collapse. Figures rushed into the sky one after another. Someone roared. Maybe it's caused by Emperor Tsang flying away. What should we do? If the mystic realm collapses, we will all die here. There was an uproar at the scene. Someone screamed in horror. Fly up. When we first entered this arcane pocket realm, it looked like a bubble. There must be an end to it. Fly up and get out of here. Whoosh, whoosh. Streaks of light flew into the depths of the sky. Gotcha. In the sky, space suddenly split open, revealing a pitch-black spatial crack. Several youths screamed miserably as they were swallowed by the spatial crack. If they were in the godly ruins, Huangqi cultivators wouldn't have any problems entering the dark space. However, it was different here. The space was stable, but at the same time, the cracks in the dark space were even more powerful. If Huangqi cultivators entered the dark space, they would die. The space is about to crack. Be careful of the space cracks. Someone shouted. One figure after another flew towards the sky at an extremely fast speed. Shi Tian, Mo Jie, and the rest had ugly expressions on their faces. They couldn't be bothered to deal with Lu Ming as they flew up into the sky, fleeing for their lives. Get lost. Lu Ming threw Wang Xiao into a crack in the ground and threw him into the lava. Then, he flapped his black wings and soared into the sky. In a few breaths, Lu Ming appeared beside Qiu Yingying, Qiu Hao, and Ruan Tian. I'll take you with me, Lu Ming said. The chaotic domain enveloped Qiu Yingying and the rest. Then, he flapped his black wings and soared into the sky like a bolt of lightning. Rumble. The ground shook more and more violently. Below them, the ground cracked open and lava raged. It was like the end of the world. In the sky, streaks of light flew up into the sky one after another. After flying for tens of thousands of miles, they finally saw a light screen. "We're here!" Someone rushed into the light screen. The light screen trembled and disappeared. "It really works!" Everyone was overjoyed and rushed into the light screen. Lu Ming saw Emoji, Hiyu, Shirtian, and the others rushing into the light screen one by one. Then the others did the same. "Ying, you guys go out first," Lu Ming said. "Lu Ming, what are you doing?" Qiu Ying asked. "Killing someone," Lu Ming said coldly. Then he waved his hand and sent Qiu Ying and the others into the light screen and disappeared. Then Lu Ming looked down diagonally. Over there was a sword light that was flying upwards at an extremely fast speed. It was Wang Xiao. He was beaten half to death by Lu Ming and thrown into the lava by Lu Ming. If it weren't for the Saint artifact armor, he would have been burned alive. It took him a lot of effort to rush out and escape into the sky. But now he was at the back. Lu Ming flapped his black wings and used the wind origin technique. His body turned into a black light and flew down. Quick, quick, quick! Wang Xiao flew with all his strength. The secret realm was collapsing more and more. If he was late, he wouldn't be able to escape. At the same time, he kept roaring in his heart. In his mind, he was planning how to get revenge on Lu Ming after he got out. Suddenly, he saw a black light flash and pounce at him at extreme speed. "Lu Ming, what are you doing?" Wang Xiao roared. "I'm here to kill you." Lu Ming sneered. He looked down and used the 9 Dragons Heaven Stomp. The power of the 9 steps merged into one and turned into a huge footprint that stomped toward Wang Xiao. Wang Xiao roared and slashed out. The sword light slashed at Lu Ming's footprint. The footprint was broken, but his body was blasted down. Lu Ming chased after Wang Xiao again. "Lu Ming, you're crazy. Do you want to die?" Wang Xiao roared in horror. He had the Saint artifact armor that could block Lu Ming's attack. But if he couldn't get out before the secret realm collapsed, even the Saint artifact armor couldn't save his life. "Kill!" Lu Ming swooped down and slashed out with the black feather wings like a blade. The Saint artifact armor appeared on Wang Xiao's body. He held the combat sword and slashed at Lu Ming. Clang! The combat sword slashed at the black feather wings. Sparks flew everywhere. Lu Ming's body was slightly obstructed, but Wang Xiao's body was like a cannonball, plunging downward. Rumble! At this time, heaven and earth shook even more violently. More and more space cracks appeared in the sky. The ground below was completely covered by magma. This secret realm would completely collapse at any time. But Lu Ming didn't have any intention of stopping. He continued to rush toward Wang Xiao. "Madman, you're a madman. Stop it, stop it." Wang Xiao roared hysterically. At this time, he was really scared. Lu Ming was a madman. In order to kill him, he didn't even care about his own life. If this went on, both he and Lu Ming would die here. It would be best if Lu Ming died. But he didn't want to die. Now he regretted. He regretted provoking Lu Ming, a madman. People have to pay the price for their actions. Chapter 1449. Wang Xiao went crazy. He wanted to dash into the sky, but Lu Ming's black wings slashed down, completely blocking his path. He could only try his best to resist as he fell again. Don't. Lu Ming swooped down and attacked Wang Xiao. The two of them were getting further and further away from the sky and closer to the ground. Boom. Crack. The ground exploded and lava filled the sky. Scorching aura kept surging. More and more spatial cracks appeared in the sky, covering the sky like a spider web. Bam! Some of the spatial cracks shattered like glass. The sky was falling. This mystic realm was about to be destroyed. At this moment, the others had already rushed out. Only Wang Xiao and Lu Ming were left in this mystic realm. Arg! Wang Xiao roared, his voice filled with despair. Now, even if he wanted to rush out, it would be very difficult. "Lu Ming, since you're going to die, let's die together." Wang Xiao roared and attacked Lu Ming. Clang! His divine weapon slashed at Lu Ming's black wings. His body trembled, and he was sent flying backward by the power of the chaotic domain above. "Who wants to die with you?" Lu Ming spoke coldly. He spread his black wings and soared into the sky, flying thousands of miles high in the blink of an eye. However, there were spatial cracks in front of him. There was no way out. Chirp chirp. At this moment, Bubble chirped and emitted a milky white light. It waved its claws and a spatial tunnel appeared in front of Lu Ming. Lu Ming stepped in and disappeared. No, no, take me with you, Wang Xiao broke down when he saw this. He flew toward the spatial tunnel frantically. However, the spatial tunnel disappeared in the next moment. Only Wang Xiao was left yelling. Lu Ming appeared in the sky thousands of miles above. However, Bubble did the same thing again and opened another spatial tunnel. In Yuan continent, Bubble could not open a spatial tunnel for too long with its cultivation base. It could only open thousands of miles each time, but it was enough. After a few times, Lu Ming saw the light screen again and rushed in. Outside the tomb, where Lu Ming and the others entered, there was a Saint Realm expert from each of the 13 sects waiting quietly with some deacons. The tomb was also floating quietly in the air. Suddenly, there was a violent roar in the void behind the tomb. Soon after, they heard the long cry of an eagle. That space began to tremble unstably. Some places even began to crack. What's that? A goshawk? Someone shouted. They saw an enormous goshawk soaring into the sky in that space, breaking through the void as it soared into the sky. That's not a real goshawk. It's a fortress. Could it be Emperor Tsong's palace? Emperor Tsong's palace? Emperor Tsong is not dead? Voices sounded one after another. The 13 Saint Realm experts' eyes were incredulous. If the Tsong Emperor didn't die and returned, the Tsong state would probably change. However, the giant goshawk did not break through the sky. Instead, it shattered the void and was faintly discernible. Soon, it completely disappeared into the depths of the void. What happened in Emperor Tsong's secret realm? They were full of doubts, but they could only wait quietly. Click. Not long after, the tombstones of the great necropolis suddenly opened, from which several figures rushed out. As soon as Lu Ming rushed into the light screen, his surroundings changed. Lu Ming found that there was a platform in front of him and many people were standing there, looking in his direction. Lu Ming. Brother Lu. On the platform, Qiu Yingying, Qiu Hao, Ruan Tian, and the others looked over and were overjoyed when they saw Lu Ming. Obviously, they were not at ease and were waiting here. Lu Ming flew over and nodded to them. Boom, boom. There was a series of roars in the secret realm. Looking at the secret realm from here, one could see a huge ball with mountains and lakes inside. But at this time, the mountains and lakes had exploded and the whole ball was full of cracks. In the end, the entire sphere exploded. That region was filled with chaos. A secret realm exploded and returned to chaos, disappearing into the endless void. Wang Xiao did not rush out, he was definitely not alive. Let's go, Lu Ming said. They randomly chose a passage and went back the way they came. Not long after, they returned to the inner part of the tomb and found that the door of the tomb was already open. They rushed out one after another. As soon as they rushed out of the light screen, they saw people moving in the air. As long as they were not dead, most of them had come out. The people present took the initiative to divide into 13 areas. Lu Ming and the others flew towards Dragon God Valley's area. What happened in Emperor Tsong's secret realm? Why did it collapse? An old voice rang out. A Saint Plain cultivator couldn't help but ask. Many people looked at each other. They did not know why Emperor Tsong's secret realm collapsed. Among us, one of us definitely knows that Lu Ming from the Divine Dragon Valley entered the core of Emperor Tsong's bedroom. Thereafter, something happened. I'm guessing that he must have obtained Emperor Tsong's legacy. In the Heavenly Divine Sex area, Shi Tian was the first to speak. What? Emperor Tsong's inheritance? Many people heard this and looked in the direction of Dragon God Valley, including some Saint Realm experts. How tempting was Emperor Tsong's inheritance? Who is Lu Ming? An expert from Celestial Divinity sect stepped out, emitting a terrifying aura. This person was Celestial Divinity sect's Saint Realm expert. It's him. Shi Tian pointed at Lu Ming. This time, everyone's eyes fell on Lu Ming. Is this true? Saint Realm experts from other sects asked. I can testify that what Shirtian said is true. Wuxia from the Heavenly Universe Demon Sect stepped out and looked at Lu Ming with a cold gaze. I can testify too. I saw him enter the core of Emperor Tsong's palace with my own eyes. Another genius leader of a sect stepped out. In that case, hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance. The Celestial Divinity Sect's Saint Realm expert stared at Lu Ming and stepped out, wanting to go towards Lu Ming. Boom. On Dragon God Valley's side, Elder Hong stepped out and stood in front of Lu Ming like a mountain, blocking the aura of the Celestial Divinity Sect's Saint Realm expert. What? You want to protect him? How can Dragon God Valley take the Emperor Tsong's inheritance for themselves? The Celestial Divinity Sect's Saint Realm expert said. The other sects also sent their Saint Realm cultivators over. I didn't get Emperor Tsong's inheritance. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke, his voice spreading across the entire area. You didn't get it? The Saint Realm expert's eyes narrowed. Nonsense. Many of us saw you enter the core of Emperor Tsong's palace and you still want to deny it? Shirtian shouted. I can testify that junior brother Lu Ming did enter the core of Emperor Tsong's palace. A cold voice came from Dragon God Valley's area. Chapter 1450. Lu Ming's gaze was like lightning as he looked at Hiyu. This person was despicable. They were from the same sect, but he wanted to kill Lu Ming and betrayed Lu Ming. Yin Feng, who was standing beside Hiyu, sneered. He, the disciples of the Dragon God Valley have spoken. Looks like it's true. The Sage Realm expert from the Heavenly Divinity Sect sneered and his aura became stronger. I told you, I didn't get Emperor Tsong's inheritance. Lu Ming spoke again as he looked at Shirtian, Wuxia, Hiyu and the others. Speaking of which, Lu Ming had saved them. If it wasn't for Lu Ming, they would have been killed by the soul destroyer Shakyamuni and their flesh and blood would have been refined. Everyone would have died then. But now, these people wanted to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming would remember these people. There would be a time to settle this score in the future. Words are no proof. We want to test it. The Sage Realm expert from the Heavenly Divinity Sect said coldly. You want to test it? The Heavenly Divinity Sect is so overbearing. Do you think the Dragon God Valley will be afraid of you? Elder Hong was overbearing and his aura was violent like a real dragon. The confrontation between the two Sage Realm experts made many of the youths pale as if a mountain was pressing down on their hearts. It was so uncomfortable that they wanted to vomit blood. Lu Ming was slightly better. He had seen the terrifying aura of the two emperors. Although the Sage Realm expert's aura was strong, it couldn't affect his heart. Lu Ming, did you really enter Emperor Tsong's chamber? Elder Hong asked Lu Ming. Everyone's eyes fell on Lu Ming, waiting to see how Lu Ming would answer. Yes, I did enter the core of Emperor Tsong's chamber. Lu Ming nodded. Looks like no one is slandering you. You admitted it yourself. The Sage Realm expert from the Heavenly Divinity Sect said. Entering the core of Emperor Tsong's chamber doesn't mean you got the inheritance. Lu Ming, what did you see in the core of Emperor Tsong's chamber? What did you do? Elder Hong asked again. I saw Emperor Tsong. Lu Ming said. These words were undoubtedly like a sudden clap of thunder that exploded in everyone's minds. Everyone looked at Lu Ming in shock. Lu Ming saw Emperor Tsong? Could it be that Tsong Di was still alive? Is Tsong Di still alive? The Sage Realm expert from the Celestial Divinity Sect asked with a hoarse voice. Lu Ming nodded his head and said, That's right, Grey Emperor is still alive. Hiss hiss hiss. A series of gasps could be heard. Who would have thought that the Tsong Emperor was still alive? Then the Tsong province would really change greatly. If the Azure Emperor is still alive, why hasn't there been any trace of him in the past 60,000 years? Someone raised a question. That's right, Lu Ming. Speak clearly. What did you see? What did you get? Someone asked. The reason why Emperor Tsong has disappeared for 60,000 years is because he is seriously injured. Moreover, he has been confronting a great enemy for 60,000 years. At that moment, Lu Ming didn't hide anything. He told her everything he had seen. However, there was one thing that he had made a slight change. In fact, the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni had the upper hand. However, Lu Ming said that Emperor Tsang and the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni were on par. After 60,000 years of confrontation, Emperor Tsang used his lightning cauldron to gain the upper hand and suppress the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni. Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni, it's the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni. The Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni is still alive? The Sage Realm experts present seemed to have heard of the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni's name. While they were shocked, they also revealed a solemn expression. I see. Many of them who hadn't heard of the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni were shocked. They finally knew why Emperor Tsang had suddenly disappeared 60,000 years ago. It turned out that he had encountered a great enemy. Many of the youths who had entered the secret realm were shocked. They recalled the many skeletons they had seen in the great emperor's secret realm. Obviously, they had all been killed by Emperor Tsang's enemy. Senior Emperor Tsang borrowed my sacred weapon, the lightning cauldron, to bring the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni into the infinite void. He said that he would return the lightning cauldron to thank me for my help. In the end, Lu Ming said. The meaning of his words was simple. Emperor Tsang was still alive, but he hadn't obtained Emperor Tsang's inheritance. Moreover, Emperor Tsang was indebted to him. Once Emperor Tsang had defeated his enemy, he would return to find him. He was using Emperor Tsang's name to intimidate the experts of the other sections. If they were to touch Lu Ming now, they would have to answer to Emperor Tsang when he returned. "Ha, little brat, there's no need to use Emperor Tsang to threaten us." The celestial god Sex Sage Realm experts sneered. They naturally wouldn't believe Lu Ming's words completely. But there was one thing that they could be sure of. Grey Emperor was indeed still alive. Previously, they had seen Emperor Tsang's palace break through the void. With their Sage Realm cultivation, they could feel a faint trace of Emperor Tsang's aura. Now that Lu Ming had mentioned it, they were certain that Emperor Tsang was in the palace. Since Emperor Tsang wasn't dead, it was impossible for Lu Ming to obtain Emperor Tsang's inheritance. A living emperor wouldn't pass down his inheritance. If they wanted someone to inherit his mantle, they could just accept him as a disciple. If Lu Ming didn't obtain Emperor Tsang's inheritance, there was no point in capturing Lu Ming. Instead, they would offend Dragon God Valley. It wasn't worth it. A few Sage Realm experts looked at each other and shook their heads. Let's go. Since Emperor Tsang isn't dead, we should make plans early. Let's go back and report to the sect leader. A few Sage Realm experts spoke one after another. Then, they left with the youths of their respective sections. The celestial god Sex Sage Realm expert snorted. His eyes flickered a few times, but he didn't continue to pursue Lu Ming and turned to leave. Senior brother Hiyu, I heard that Lu Ming killed Wu Sandu of the Desire Poison sect in Emperor Tsang's palace. It seems like our Dragon God Valley will have another peerless genius. At this moment, a voice rang out from within the Dragon God Valley. It was so loud that it spread far and wide. "Yin Feng." Lu Ming's eyes were filled with killing intent. Yin Feng was purposely trying to harm him. Wu Sandu was the green rogue youth that Lu Ming had killed in Emperor Tsang's palace. True enough, when the Saint Realm expert from the Desire Poison sect heard this, he stopped in his tracks. He turned around and looked at Lu Ming, his body exuding a cold, murderous intent. "Brat, so Wu Sandu was killed by you." The Desire Poison sect's Sage Realm expert's voice was cold. A layer of poisonous fog emitted from his body and a powerful aura pressed down on Lu Ming. Within the Dragon God Valley's group, Hiyu and Yin Feng sneered. Just a moment ago, Lu Ming had managed to escape under such circumstances. How could they be willing to accept that? Hence, they purposely announced that Lu Ming had killed Wu Sandu. "I was the one who killed him. So what? In the Emperor's mystic realm, we were competing. He wanted to kill me first, so how can I not kill him?" Lu Ming said loudly. "Then I'll kill you to avenge him." The Desire Poison sect's elder roared and stepped forward. Poisonous fog filled the air. Chapter 1451. A dragon's roar shook the 9 heavens. Elder Hong seemed to have turned into a violent dragon. His long hair danced in the wind as he stared at the Desire Poison sect's Sage Realm expert and said, The Great Emperor Mystic Realm doesn't forbid killing. Naturally, there will be competition for treasures. Your Desire Poison sect is proficient in using poison. Many of the sects here have probably lost their members to your Desire Poison sect. Should we also settle the score with your Desire Poison sect? If the younger generation fights and dies, they can only blame themselves for being useless. As an elder, you want to deal with a junior? Do you have any shame? Elder Hong was extremely domineering and his voice was like a bell. You, the Desire Poison sect's Sage Realm expert's face turned ugly. However, it made sense. If the younger generation fought and died, it could only be said that they were useless. If the elders intervened because of this, especially the Sage Realm experts, wouldn't it be a mess? You kill my juniors, I kill yours. Then, these sects would never be able to develop. There are many elites in Dragon God Valley, but my Desire Poison sect isn't bad either. Let's wait and see. The Desire Poison sect's Sage Realm expert looked coldly at Lu Ming before he waved his sleeves and left. In the blink of an eye, everyone from the Desire Poison sect had left. Damn it, he managed to escape with his life. Yin Feng gritted his teeth in the crowd. He's lucky. There are plenty of ways to kill him in Dragon God Valley. He also said coldly. Originally, they wanted to use the Desire Poison sect's experts to get rid of Lu Ming. However, they did not expect Elder Hong to be so domineering and protect Lu Ming. They were unwilling to let Lu Ming escape. Lu Ming turned around and looked coldly at He Yu and Yin Feng. It was as if he was looking at two dead men. These two people had tried to kill him time and time again. He had to kill these two people. Alright, let's return to Dragon God Valley first. Elder Hong said as he took out a battleship. Everyone boarded the battleship and the battleship flew towards Dragon God Valley. A few days later, everyone arrived at Dragon God Valley. Outside the Dragon God Valley, everyone got out of the battleship. Elder Hong led them into the Dragon God Valley. They flew past the outer valley and into the snowy mountain inside. They arrived in front of a huge palace. The palace seemed to be made out of white jade. In front of the palace was a huge square. Lu Ming and the others landed on the square. When Lu Ming and the others arrived, there were already many people surrounding the square. Clearly, they had already known about their return and had rushed over to watch. This time, they were entering the Great Emperor's mystic realm. Naturally, it attracted many people because they were very curious. Alright, all of you have passed the Divine Dragon Valley's test. Next, there are two things you need to do. Elder Hong stood at the highest point and said loudly. The scene quieted down. The first thing is to hand over the treasures and manuals that you have obtained from the Great Emperor's mystic realm. Of course, these are all voluntary. If you feel that they are useful to you, you can keep them. If they are not useful to you, you can hand them over to the sect. The sect will compensate you. You can be compensated with origin stones or sect contribution points. Sect contribution points are equivalent to 100 pieces of mid-grade origin stones. Sect contribution points can be used to exchange for any treasures in the sect's treasure dragon hall. As long as the Dragon God Valley has it, it can be exchanged. Elder Hong announced loudly. Sect contribution points can be exchanged for any treasures? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He was a little tempted. His Dragon God battle body was currently an inferior Earth spiritual body. However, it could be upgraded continuously. The treasures needed to upgrade it were related to true dragons. True dragon bones, dragon blood, dragon marrow, etc. could be used to upgrade Lu Ming's Dragon God battle body. Of course, these true dragon treasures could only be used by true dragons that were martial emperors and above. Such treasures could only be found by chance. It was very difficult to find them in the outside world. However, all the martial artists in the Divine Dragon Valley had awakened the true dragon bloodline. Living Flood Dragon bloodline, there should be treasures related to true dragons. As long as there were treasures, they could be exchanged with contribution points. Lu Ming had already started to think about what treasures he should hand over later. The second thing is to join the Divine Dragon Valley and become an official disciple of the Divine Dragon Valley. However, the Divine Dragon Valley is divided into 7 valleys. They are Ice Dragon Valley, Silver Dragon Valley, Blood Dragon Valley, Red Dragon Valley, Purple Dragon Valley, Black Dragon Valley, and Cloud Dragon Valley. Next, I will briefly explain the characteristics of the 7 Dragon Valleys. You can choose from the 7 Dragon Valleys. Following this, Elder Hong briefly explained the characteristics of the 7 Dragon Valleys. The Ice Dragon Valley was the leader of the 7 Dragon Valleys. The Valley Master of the Divine Dragon Valley was the Valley Master of the Ice Dragon Valley. Among the 7 Dragon Valleys, the Ice Dragon Valley was the strongest. Many people in the Ice Dragon Valley had awakened the Ice Dragon bloodline and cultivated the Ice Dragon battle body. The Blood Dragon Valley was extremely bloodthirsty. They were good at killing and cultivated the Blood Dragon battle body. The Cloud Dragon Valley was the weakest among the 7 Dragon Valleys. It also had the least number of people. The entire Cloud Dragon Valley only had a little over 100 people. Furthermore, there were no rules regarding which dragon body to cultivate. The most heterogeneous dragon body could join the Cloud Dragon Valley. The Cloud Dragon Valley had a special characteristic, which was freedom. They were as free as the clouds. Free and unrestrained, like the rolling clouds, Cloud Dragon Valley. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He found it interesting. All right, it's time to hand over your treasures, Elder Hong announced loudly. Above the square, there was a huge counter. There were a few white-haired old men who were in charge of inspecting the treasures and registering their information. By the side, many people were watching curiously. They wanted to see what treasures they could obtain in the Great Emperor's mystic realm. I'll go first. A burly young man walked up and took out a few spiritual herbs and a spiritual weapon. The spiritual weapon was an Emperor's spiritual weapon. Not bad. An Emperor's spiritual weapon is worth 1,000,000 medium origin stones or 10,000 sect contribution points. Do you need sect contribution points or origin stones? A white-haired old man asked. I need sect contribution points. The burly young man said. All right, I'll register it first. When you join one of the Dragon Valleys, I'll issue you an identity token and give it to you. The white-haired old man said. The burly young man nodded and registered his information. All right, next. The white-haired old man said. Following that, another young man walked up and handed over the treasures that he did not need. Of course, some had more and some had fewer. There were all kinds of treasures. Be it spiritual herbs, refining materials, cultivation technique manuals, spiritual weapons, they could all be handed over. The white-haired old men would appraise the price, and they would be compensated accordingly. Soon, thousands of people went up to hand over their treasures. However, none of them took out a sacred weapon. After all, sacred weapons were extremely precious and rare. Even in the Great Emperor's mystic realm, not many people had obtained one. Moreover, even if they had obtained one, most people would not be willing to take it out. I'll go. Lu Ming smiled and walked up to the front of the counter. With a wave of his hand, a pile of spiritual weapons appeared on the counter. They emitted all kinds of treasure light. Emperor's spiritual weapons. They are all Emperor's spiritual weapons. There are so many of them. Chapter 1452. On the counter, there was a pile of Emperor-level spiritual weapons. There were at least a dozen of them. The white-haired elders were also slightly stunned. Lu Ming's expression was calm. He had killed many opponents in the Great Emperor's mystic realm. These people were all geniuses. Many of them had Emperor-level spiritual weapons in their hands. Lu Ming still had quite a number of Emperor-level spiritual weapons in his hands. What he took out were all useless to him. There were hammer-type weapons, axe-type weapons, and ring-type Emperor spirit weapons. These spiritual weapons were equivalent to scrap metal in Lu Ming's hands. It was better to hand them over to the sect in exchange for useful resources. There are a total of 15 Emperor-level spiritual weapons, worth 15 million mid-grade primal stones. Do you want to exchange them for primal stones or sect contribution points? The white-haired elder asked. Exchange them with sect contribution points. Lu Ming said. There were quite a number of mid-grade primal stones in the storage rings of the opponents he had killed. It was enough for Lu Ming to use for a period of time. If he exchanged them for sect contribution points, he could exchange them for other treasures. All right, we will register them. Do you have any other treasures to hand over? The white-haired elder asked again. Yes. Lu Ming nodded. His palms glowed. This time, 2 weapons appeared. One of them was a battle sword. When the battle sword appeared, there was a shocking sword chi that pierced through the clouds. The other was a palm-sized knife. There was a green mist on it and a disgusting stench was emitted. It was frightening. Sacred weapons, 2 sacred weapons. Someone exclaimed. Everyone's gaze fell on the 2 sacred weapons. Some people's gazes were burning with passion. It's actually a sacred weapon. It seems like the harvest in the great emperor's mystic realm is really bountiful. Who is this person? He should be from another continent. He actually obtained 2 sacred weapons. It's really a great opportunity. Many people discussed and were extremely envious. The great emperor's mystic realm was something that could only be found by chance. It was a pity that one's cultivation was below that of a martial emperor. Most people had surpassed that realm. The eyes of the white-haired elders also lit up. This was the first time someone had taken out a saint weapon and handed it in. These 2 items are bright saint weapons. They are 100 times more valuable than emperor weapons. Do you want to exchange them for contribution points or mid-grade origin stones? The white-haired old man took the 2 sacred weapons and examined them carefully before asking. Convert them all into contribution points. Lu Ming said. All right, 2 bright saint weapons, plus 15 emperor-grade spirit weapons, a total of 15 million sect contribution points. Do you have anything else you want to hand over? After the white-haired old man finished speaking, he looked at Lu Ming with some hope. No more. Lu Ming shook his head. More than 2 million contribution points should be enough for a period of time. That can't be right. Lu Ming, the treasures you obtained shouldn't be limited to just these, right? At this moment, a cold voice sounded. Without looking, Lu Ming could tell that it was Yin Feng's voice. Lu Ming coldly glanced at Yin Feng and said, I have nothing to hand over. Nothing? Who are you trying to fool? Where is your wing-shaped sacred weapon? Where are your other treasures? You should have obtained quite a lot. Why don't you take them out and hand them over to the sect? Yin Feng sneered. I do have other treasures, but I can use them myself. Elder Hong also said that I can keep whatever I can use. If you have treasures that you can use, will you hand them over? Lu Ming sneered and asked. Of course I will. I am wholeheartedly devoted to the sect. Yin Feng said. Oh, I forgot. A trash like you can't obtain any treasures. Naturally, you are willing to hand them over. Lu Ming said in disdain. Who are you calling trash? Yin Feng was furious. Aren't you? Do you want to fight with me to prove that you are not trash? Lu Ming said. Yin Feng was speechless. He was clear about Lu Ming's battle strength. It was extremely terrifying. If they were to fight, he would only be tortured by Lu Ming. You don't even dare to fight. If you are not trash, then what are you? Lu Ming said in disdain. Yin Feng was trembling with anger, but he could not refute. Lu Ming, I remember that you have obtained a break sage pill. You don't need it now. Why don't you hand it over? At this moment He Yu, who was standing beside Yin Feng, said coldly. What? A break sage pill? At this moment, the entire place became extremely quiet. Countless pairs of eyes stared intently at Lu Ming. Many people had a burning glow in their eyes. A break sage pill. Lu Ming had obtained a break sage pill. Phew, some people's breathing had even become heavy. There were many people around the square. Many of them were peak martial emperors, but they were stuck at the peak of the martial emperor realm, unable to break through. Some of them were at the end of their lifespan. The break sage pill was too tempting for them. If this was not the divine Dragon Valley, where there were martial emperors, some of them would have already snatched it. Lu Ming frowned. This move of He Yu's was extremely sinister. If he did not hand in the breakthrough sage elixir, there would be countless pairs of eyes in the Dragon Divine Valley staring at him. In the future, unless Lu Ming did not step out of the Dragon Divine Valley, who knew if someone would secretly make a move on him? This move was ruthless. Lu Ming, since you have the Sheng-breaking elixir, why don't you hand it over and contribute to the sect? You have no use for such a treasure now. Moreover, you might die at any time. Wouldn't such a treasure be wasted? Yin Feng shouted. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. He then ignored Yin Feng and He Yu and bowed to the white-haired old men. Seniors, I have nothing to hand over. Can I register it? Sure, register it. The white-haired old man said. Lu Ming nodded and was about to register it. Wait. At this moment, a voice came from afar. Then an old man in a silver robe appeared in the sky. Elder Hong and the other white-haired old men's faces changed when they saw the old man in the silver robe. They stood up and bowed. Greetings, Valley Master Yin Long. Many people around the square bowed to him. What? Valley Master Yin Long? Valley Master Yin Long of the 7 Great Valleys? In the middle of the square, the young men who had not officially become disciples of the Divine Dragon Valley were shocked. The Valley Masters of the 7 Great Dragon Valleys were important figures who stood at the peak of the Divine Dragon Valley. Even in the vast Song continent, they were top figures. Now, Valley Master Yin Long of the 7 Great Dragon Valleys had come personally. Grandfather! Yin Feng shouted in surprise when he saw Valley Master Yin Long. Many people gasped when they saw him. Yin Feng's grandfather was Valley Master Yin Long. Lu Ming furrowed his brows. Yin Feng's background was beyond his imagination. Valley Master Yin Long landed on the ground and nodded. What happened just now? It's him. That kid from the uncivilized island. He obtained a treasure in the Great Emperor's secret realm and wanted to take it for himself. He has no use for a treasure like the Break Sage Pill now. Chapter 1453. Moreover, he is the only one who has entered the core of Emperor Tsong's palace. I suspect that he has obtained Emperor Tsong's treasures or his legacy. He Yu added fuel to the fire. What? Emperor Tsong's legacy? His words were like a bomb that caused an uproar among the crowd. Many people looked at Lu Ming in shock. Even Valley Head Silver Dragon's eyes shone with a fiery light. If the breakthrough sage elixir was only tempting to the peak martial royal realm experts, the Emperor Tsong's treasures and legacy would be tempting even to the Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley. I have already said that I have not obtained Emperor Tsong's legacy. I have already proven this in front of the experts of the various sections. Elder Hong is here to prove my words. Lu Ming said. That's right. Lu Ming has not obtained Emperor Tsong's legacy. Elder Hong said. Emperor Tsong's legacy is very important. I suggest that Lu Ming hand over everything for us to check. Lastly, we will search his soul. This is the only way to ensure that nothing goes wrong. Yin Feng said loudly with a vicious look in his eyes. Haha. At that moment, Lu Ming laughed out loud and said, I have already said that I have not obtained the legacy. Elder Hong has also proven this. Moreover, I have already said that those who enter the Emperor's secret realm can hand over any treasures they find. Now, you are forcing me to hand them over. Is this how Dragon God Valley treats their disciples? This is so disappointing. How dare you? The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley shouted coldly and said, You're just a reserved disciple, how dare you talk about the Dragon God Valley? How audacious. Feng, is right, I need to search your soul to make sure. Having said that, the Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley stepped forward and locked his aura on Lu Ming. Lu Ming realized that he could not move his body at all. It was as if he was frozen in place. Yin Zheng, you are already so old and you are a Valley Master. Don't you find it embarrassing to treat a junior in this manner? At that moment, a gentle voice resounded in the area. As the voice resounded, Lu Ming suddenly felt his body relax and he regained his freedom. Many people were shocked. Who dared to speak to Valley Master Silver Dragon like that? Valley Master Silver Dragon frowned and looked at the sky. In the sky, 2 figures stepped on the air and flew over. It was an old man with a gentle smile on his face. Behind the old man was a middle-aged man. Senior Long Yuan Shan. Lu Ming's heart stirred. The middle-aged man following behind the old man was Long Yuanshan. Greetings, Valley Master Yun Long. Many people bowed when they saw this old man. Cloud Dragon Valley Master. Lu Ming's heart stirred. Another Valley Master had arrived. The Silver Dragon Valley Master stared at the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and said, "What? Do you want to be a busybody? What do you mean meddling in other people's business? This little guy is right. How can my Dragon God Valley treat its disciples like this? It is up to him whether he wants to hand it over or not. To be honest, let's not talk about the fact that this brat did not obtain Emperor Song's inheritance. Even if he did, it is up to him whether he wants to hand it over or not. Our Divine Dragon Valley only needs to ensure his growth." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said calmly. "What if I forcibly search your soul?" The Silver Dragon Valley Master asked. "You can give it a try." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's eyes flashed and a mysterious aura emanated from his body. The Silver Dragon Valley Master looked at the Cloud Dragon Valley Master with a serious expression. After a while, he looked at Elder Hong and asked, "Elder Hong, are you sure that this brat did not obtain Emperor Song's inheritance?" "He can't have it because Emperor Song is not dead," Elder Hong said. "What?" The Silver Dragon Valley Master was shocked. Not only him, but everyone present was also shocked. Emperor Song was not dead. These 4 words were too shocking and could explain everything. After a while, the scene slowly quietened down. "Let's continue." The Silver Dragon Valley Master waved his hand and walked to a chair at the side and sat down. "Continue." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master also sat down. "Little guy, register your name," the white-haired old man said to Lu Ming. Lu Ming nodded and registered his name before walking down the stage. Then, one by one, they went up to hand over their treasures. Just like that, 2 days and 2 nights passed and the task of handing over their treasures was finally over. Next was the second task, which was to choose one of the 7 dragon valleys to join. An elder from each dragon valley came and set up a counter in the square. Here, each elder represents a dragon valley. If you want to join a dragon valley, go forward and register. Elder Hong pointed at the 7 counters. The 7 counters each had a symbol that represented a different dragon valley. However, the Silver Dragon Valley and the Cloud Dragon Valley were special. The other dragon valleys sent their elders and only the valley masters of these 2 dragon valleys came personally. "I want to join the Ice Dragon Valley." Someone stepped forward and walked toward the Ice Dragon Valley. "Let me see your spiritual body," the elder of the Ice Dragon Valley said. This young man emitted a cold aura and the faint roar of a dragon could be heard. "Yes, it's the Ice Dragon War Body. You can join." The elder of the Ice Dragon Valley nodded and registered the young man's information. "Senior, I want to join the Purple Dragon Valley. I want to join the Black Dragon Valley." The young men stepped forward and chose the Dragon Valley they wanted to join. Yin Feng naturally joined the Silver Dragon Valley. Hiyu had joined the Blood Dragon Valley. "Senior, I want to join the Cloud Dragon Valley." A young man walked to the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and said respectfully. Unexpectedly, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master shook his head and said, "You're not suitable for the Cloud Dragon Valley. Go." Many people were stunned. The Cloud Dragon Valley would not accept them. As long as their spiritual bodies were suitable, the other dragon valleys would accept them. This was because these young men had been tested for their talents and were very good. They were qualified to join the Divine Dragon Valley, but the Cloud Dragon Valley would not accept them. You don't know, right? The Cloud Dragon Valley only has a little over 100 people and is the weakest among the 7 dragon valleys. Naturally, the number of people joining is the least. Also, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master has a strange way of accepting people. He doesn't accept ordinary people and only accepts people based on his mood. A local disciple explained. Accepts based on his mood? Many people were speechless. As expected, a few more people wanted to join the Cloud Dragon Valley but were rejected by the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. "Lu Ming, which Dragon Valley do you want to join?" Qiu Yingying asked. "I don't know yet." Lu Ming shook his head. He had not decided yet. His spiritual body was the Divine Dragon Battle Body. To be honest, he could join any Dragon Valley. As for his domain, it was the Chaotic Domain. It would not matter if he joined any Dragon Valley. However, he had already excluded the Silver Dragon Valley and the Blood Dragon Valley. He would not join these 2 Dragon Valleys. The remaining dragon valleys were fine. You don't know? Lu Ming, I'll go and register. I want to join the Ice Dragon Valley. Qiu Yingying said. Go. Chapter 1454. Qiu Yingying and Qiu Hao had similar physiques and had joined Ice Dragon Valley. As for the three Ruan brothers, they had joined Red Dragon Valley. Everyone present had joined the Seven Dragon Valleys. This time, there were more than 20,000 people who had entered the Great Emperor Mystic Realm. However, only 12,000 people had come out. More than half of them had stayed in the Great Emperor Mystic Realm forever. 12,000 people. Up until now, other than Cloud Dragon Valley, the other 6 Dragon Valleys each had more than 1,000 people. Only Cloud Dragon Valley had no one. Many people looked at each other. Cloud Dragon Valley was really strange. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master had come personally but had not accepted a single disciple. At this moment, Lu Ming stepped out and walked towards the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. This kid wants to join Cloud Dragon Valley. Yin Feng's eyes flashed. He did not want Lu Ming to join Cloud Dragon Valley. This was because, given his status, he had friends in the other 6 Dragon Valleys. If Lu Ming were to join them, he had 100 ways to kill Lu Ming. However, if Lu Ming were to join Cloud Dragon Valley, it would be troublesome. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master has always accepted disciples based on his mood. I hope he will not accept Lu Ming as his disciple. Yin Feng thought to himself. Around the square, many people looked at Lu Ming. Lu Ming had a treasure like the Break Sage elixir on him. Naturally, he would be the center of attention. Senior, I am Lu Ming. I would like to join Cloud Dragon Valley. Lu Ming walked in front of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and bowed. Joining Cloud Dragon Valley was Lu Ming's final decision. Firstly, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master's motto was to be free. Lu Ming liked this very much. Also, Long Yuanshan was in Cloud Dragon Valley. Long Yuanshan's character was not bad. Lu Ming had a good impression of Long Yuanshan. Furthermore, Long Yuanshan and the Cloud Dragon Valley Master had both helped Lu Ming. Therefore, Lu Ming chose to join Cloud Dragon Valley. As for the fact that Cloud Dragon Valley was the weakest, he did not even consider it. He had come to the Yuan continent to cultivate. As long as he had a stable environment to cultivate in, he would be fine. You really want to join the Cloud Dragon Valley? Have you thought it through? The Valley Master of the Cloud Dragon Valley smiled and did not reject him directly like the others. Many people's hearts stirred. Could it be that the Cloud Dragon Valley Master was going to take Lu Ming in? Junior has thought it through. Lu Ming said firmly. All right, welcome to the Cloud Dragon Valley. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master smiled and agreed. Thank you, Senior. Lu Ming bowed to the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. Little guy, your name is Lu Ming, right? Are you willing to take this old man as your master and become this old man's 9th true disciple? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master spoke again. His words shocked everyone present. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master actually took the initiative to accept Lu Ming as a true disciple? This guy is really lucky. Yin Feng gritted his teeth. If Lu Ming became the Cloud Dragon Valley Master's true disciple, it would be even more troublesome for him to deal with Lu Ming. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was famous for being protective and his strength was extremely terrifying. Even his grandfather, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, was wary of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. The other youths present looked at Lu Ming enviously. What kind of honor and opportunity was it to be accepted as a disciple by a Valley Master? Even though the Cloud Dragon Valley was the weakest among the 7 Dragon Valleys, he was still a Valley Master and his cultivation was unfathomable. Lu Ming was also stunned. He had not expected the Cloud Dragon Valley Master to accept him as a true disciple. Little guy, what do you think? If you are not willing, I will not force you. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said warmly. Disciple Lu Ming greets Master. After pondering for a while, Lu Ming bowed. He had just arrived in the Yuan continent and needed a backer. This would be of great help to his cultivation in the future. Great. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master laughed when he saw Lu Ming agree. This guy, I don't know what kind of luck he has to be accepted as a disciple by the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. He is just a lowly ant from a desolate island. I don't know what the Cloud Dragon Valley Master sees in him. Some of the local youths were so envious that their eyes turned red and they spoke with disdain. If his talent is not good enough, it is useless to have a good master. He will still be trampled by others in the future. Someone said sourly. Some were unhappy and some were happy. Xiao Yinging, Xiao Hao and the Ruan brothers were truly happy for Lu Ming. Alright. At that moment, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master stood up and scanned the crowd. He said, "My disciple might have some treasures on him after entering the Emperor's secret realm. That is his opportunity. I don't care about the competition between peers. If any old man dares to do anything to him, don't blame me for my bad temper." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master had always been a gentle person. However, at that moment, a cold aura emanated from him. The entire square was filled with a terrifying aura. Some of the peak martial royal realm experts felt as if there was a huge rock on their chests and they could not breathe properly. Forget about the break sage pill. Many people laughed bitterly in their hearts. Previously, there were many people who coveted Lu Ming's Xing-breaking elixir. However, the Valley Master of the Cloud Dragon Valley was famous for being protective of his own people. Moreover, he was very powerful. Those who coveted the Xing-breaking elixir put aside their thoughts. Compared to the break sage pill, their lives were more important. Ha, Lu Ming, no, 9th junior brother, congratulations. We are brothers from now on. Long Yuanshan laughed loudly. Greetings, senior brother. Lu Ming bowed to Long Yuanshan. I am Master's second disciple. You can call me second senior brother. Long Yuanshan laughed. All right, let's go back to the Cloud Dragon Valley. After saying that, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master stepped into the air and left. The disciple recruitment was not over yet. However, after the Cloud Dragon Valley Master had accepted Lu Ming as his core disciple, he did not want to accept any more and left immediately. 9th junior brother, let's go to the Cloud Dragon Valley. Long Yuanshan grinned and was extremely forthright. He then followed the Valley Master of the Cloud Dragon Valley and stepped into the air. Lu Ming followed closely behind. They were not heading towards the outer valley, but the deep snow mountain. As they walked in the air, snow fell from the sky. At a glance, huge snow mountains rose from the ground and one could not see the end of them. Dragon God Valley, it snows all year round, not stopping for a single day. It's really amazing. Legend has it that there's a terrifying ice dragon sleeping in the depths of the Great Snow Mountain, which caused such a phenomenon. That terrifying ice dragon is the guardian beast of Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat as a legend came to his mind. Below them, huge snowy mountains flashed past. Suddenly, a huge glacier valley appeared in front of them. This glacial canyon was quite unique. Above it were misty clouds, and snowflakes were falling from the clouds, making the entire glacial canyon look like a snowy wonderland. Yuanshan, bring Ming to a cave residence. Must be tired after entering the great emperor's secret realm. Let's rest first. Chapter 1455. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was carefree and casual. He left as he pleased and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Lu Ming was speechless. 9th junior brother, Master is like this. He's casual, but he treats his disciples extremely well. Long Yuanshan smiled at Lu Ming and explained. Second senior brother, I heard that there are only 100 disciples in the Cloud Dragon Valley. Is that true? Lu Ming asked curiously. That's right. There are only 120 people in the Cloud Dragon Valley, including Master. The other valleys have a lot of disciples, deacons, and elders. However, there are no elders in the Cloud Dragon Valley. We only have Master and his 9 true disciples. The rest are ordinary disciples. Long Yuanshan said, No elders? Is there only Master among the older generation? Lu Ming was even more curious. Yes, because there were only 6 valleys in the Divine Dragon Valley in the past. Each valley had a long history and there was no Cloud Dragon Valley. Cloud Dragon Valley was founded by Master. Long Yuanshan said, Founded by Master. Lu Ming was shocked. He was very curious about this master that he had just acknowledged. Lu Ming knew that it was extremely difficult to establish an independent valley in a large sect like the Divine Dragon Valley. He was afraid that countless people would oppose it. However, the Valley Master of the Cloud Dragon Valley could do it. He was definitely not simple. Ninth junior brother, let's go. I'll bring you to your place of residence. Long Yuanshan said and stepped forward. Lu Ming followed. The Cloud Dragon Valley was huge and spacious, but there were only 100 or so people. After flying for a while, they finally met two young men. Greetings, senior brother. The two young men bowed when they saw Long Yuanshan. You're welcome. Let me introduce you. This is Master's new true disciple. Long Yuanshan pointed at Lu Ming and introduced. The Valley Master's new disciple? The two young men looked at Lu Ming curiously and bowed. Greetings, senior brother. Senior brother? Lu Ming was stunned. Ninth junior brother, they are ordinary disciples of the Cloud Dragon Valley. They address us as senior brothers. Long Yuanshan transmitted his voice to Lu Ming. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. So that's how it is. There's no need for such formalities. Lu Ming smiled. Go ahead. With a wave of his hand, Long Yuanshan led Lu Ming deeper into the canyon. The deeper they went, the thicker the Yuan Qi became. Of Master's 9 disciples, other than the two of us, some are in seclusion, some are cultivating outside, and some are carrying out missions. If there's a chance in the future, I'll introduce them to you one by one. As they walked, Long Yuanshan explained the situation of the Cloud Dragon Valley. Soon, they arrived in front of a huge ice cave. The entrance to this ice cave was tightly shut. Junior brother, this cave is yours from now on. There is a formation at the entrance. I'll teach you how to control it. Long Yuanshan took out a jade talisman and handed it over to Lu Ming. Thank you, second senior. Lu Ming cupped his fists. Ninth junior brother, familiarize yourself with it. I estimate that Master will summon you in a few days. Long Yuanshan smiled and walked away. Lu Ming picked up the jade talisman and scanned it with his spiritual sense. He memorized the method in the jade talisman. At the entrance, there was a simple formation that only required true origin to control. Lu Ming stepped forward and true origin spread out. With a click, the entrance to the ice cave opened. Lu Ming stepped in. Then he controlled the formation and the entrance closed. Lu Ming carefully looked around the cave. The cave was huge. There was an ice bed, an ice table, an ice chair, etc. Lu Ming took a closer look and found that something was wrong. This was not ordinary ice, but ice jade. It was crystal clear and emitted a slight chill. Cultivating here could help to temper one's spiritual body. In addition, there was more than one bedroom in the ice cave. There were other ice rooms that were connected by passageways. Lu Ming looked around and found that there were more than 10 ice rooms. One of the ice rooms had a trickle of spring water that did not freeze. Lu Ming was very satisfied with this cave. The heaven and earth origin qi here was several times richer than in the outer valley. Let's count the gains this time. Lu Ming sat cross-legged on the ice jade bed. With a wave of his hand, he took out all the storage rings he had obtained this time. On the way back, Lu Ming just casually counted them. He sorted out the middle-grade origin stones, spirit herbs, spirit weapons, etc. As for the spirit herbs, Lu Ming kept them all in the mountain river diagram for Dandan and Bubbles to eat. Finally, Lu Ming kept the most valuable items in a storage ring. This time, Lu Ming had gained a lot from this trip to the Great Emperor's mystic realm. Some spirit herbs and refining materials, not to mention sacred herb, ancient heavenly sap tree. Heavenly law stones, more than 200 pieces. Sacred weapons, Lu Ming took out 2 to exchange for contribution points. There were 3 left. One was the black feather wings, another was the shield that Qiu Hao had given him, and the third was a jade bracelet. Lu Ming planned to give it to Xian Yanqing. In addition, there were 3 Emperor Region fruits and 1 Saint Breakthrough pill. Most importantly, Emperor Tsang had given him a storage ring. This was the storage ring of a great emperor. Just thinking about it made Lu Ming's heart pound. It was a pity that he had lost his lightning cauldron. That was a sacred weapon. In Emperor Tsong's chamber, Emperor Tsong seemed to have used the lightning cauldron to suppress the soul extinguisher Dharma King. However, the soul extinguisher Dharma King had obviously recovered more than Emperor Tsong. The two of them had entered the depths of the void. It was still unknown who would win this battle. Perhaps Emperor Tsong would never appear again. Therefore, Lu Ming most likely would not be able to get his lightning cauldron back. Fortunately, with Emperor Tsong's storage ring as compensation, Lu Ming felt a little better. Let's see what's in Emperor Tsong's storage ring. Are there any Emperor weapons? Emperor pills? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He picked up the storage ring and poured his true yuan into it. Lu Ming was stunned. He couldn't open it. Continue. He gritted his teeth and continued to increase his true yuan, but he still couldn't open it. I'll continue. After a while, Lu Ming gave up. Damn it, there's Emperor Tsong's mark on this storage ring. With my cultivation, I can't break this mark at all. Lu Ming wanted to howl at the sky. He was so depressed that he was about to vomit blood. He couldn't eat the fat meat in his mouth. This reminded Lu Ming of the time when he had just started cultivating and obtained a king's storage ring. He couldn't open it either because he wasn't strong enough. The situation was so similar, but this time, Lu Ming was even more depressed. This was a great emperor's storage ring. He had exchanged his sacred weapon, the lightning cauldron. Lu Ming was unwilling to give up. He tried a few more times, but in the end he could only give up helplessly. His cultivation wasn't enough to break Emperor Tsong's mark. If he wanted to slowly break it, he wouldn't be able to do it without the cultivation of a saint realm. Lu Ming despised Emperor Tsong for a long time. Since he gave the storage ring to him, why didn't he remove the mark on it? Lu Ming had no choice but to keep Emperor Tsong's storage ring. Then, with a flash, the black wings appeared on his back. Lu Ming was ready to refine the black wings again. In the future, Lu Ming would have to refine the black wings frequently. This way, the power of the sacred weapon could be slowly unleashed. A day later, Lu Ming sacrificially refined the black feather wings again and put them away. Chapter 1456. Just like that, another 2 days passed. Lu Ming refined the shield and the soul spirit defense armor one after another. The shield flew into Lu Ming's forehead and disappeared, floating in his divine sense. As for the spiritual god defensive armor, it entered the dantian and covered the spiritual god's entire body. The spiritual god was now wearing a jade armor. After refining these treasures, Lu Ming took out 3 royal realm fruits, planning to refine them to improve his cultivation. A low-level martial dominator realm fruit could improve their cultivation by 1 layer after refining it. It was extremely precious. However, Lu Ming practiced the chaotic domain, thus he was not confident. He opened his mouth and swallowed one of the royal realm fruits, before refining it. A day later, after refining the royal realm fruit, Lu Ming shook his head and let out a wry smile. Indeed, it was impossible for others to improve their cultivation by 1 layer after refining 1 royal realm fruit. His cultivation remained at the 1st layer martial dominator realm. Continue. Following this, Lu Ming took out another royal realm fruit and began refining it. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. Lu Ming had refined all 3 royal realm fruits, but his cultivation had only reached the peak of the 1st layer martial dominator realm. He had not even broken through to the 2nd layer martial dominator realm. The chaotic domain is indeed difficult to improve. 3 royal realm fruits can only help me reach the peak of the 1st layer martial dominator realm. Lu Ming let out a wry smile. However, it was not bad to reach the peak of the 1st layer martial dominator realm. Once the opportunity came, Lu Ming would be able to break through to the 2nd layer martial dominator realm. Now that I have reached the martial dominator realm, it's time to practice a domain martial skill. Lu Ming thought to himself. After his trip to the martial emperor's secret ground, he realized that his attacks were too simple. Most of the time, he relied on the hell-suppressing heaven skill and the chaotic domain to crush his opponents. The hell-suppressing heaven skill combined with the hell-suppressing monument's bloodline was extremely powerful. It was enough to unleash a terrifying power in the martial dominator realm. However, it was too simple to use the hell-suppressing heaven skill alone. As for the primal chaos flipping sky seal, although it was extremely powerful, it also consumed a lot of energy. It could be used as a trump card and could not be used normally. Therefore, Lu Ming needed to cultivate an offensive domain martial technique. As for movement techniques, he didn't need them for the time being. Firstly, even though the wind origin art was only a conceptualized battle technique, when paired with the wind frozen pearl and the black wings, his speed would be astonishing. Secondly, the 9 dragons heaven stomping steps. Although it was not a domain martial technique, after Lu Ming cultivated the 9th step, its power was still shocking, especially when combined with the dragon god battle body. Therefore, there was no need for him to cultivate any movement techniques for the time being. It was mainly about attacking. Moreover, Lu Ming wanted to cultivate a technique that would allow him to unleash the power of a spirit weapon or even a saint weapon. When Lu Ming executed the hell-suppressing heaven skill, he would generally fight with his physical body. Even if he had an emperor-level spirit weapon or a sacred weapon, it would be useless. For example, if his opponent was a swordsman and held a sacred weapon and fought with him, his opponent would have the additional power of the sacred weapon while he did not. Wouldn't he be at a disadvantage? What kind of domain martial technique should I cultivate? Lu Ming pondered. The memory fragments of the 9 dragons contained many domain martial techniques. In the chaotic domain, other than some very special domains that couldn't be transformed, all other domains could be transformed. For example, the spear domain, the sword domain. Therefore, Lu Ming could cultivate these types of domain martial techniques. 13 strikes. After a while, Lu Ming chose a domain martial technique. The 13 strikes was a spear art. When Lu Ming's cultivation was still low, he had always used a spear. Therefore, he still had a soft spot for spears. However, later on, when his cultivation was high, there was no suitable spear art. The hell-suppressing heaven art was powerful, so Lu Ming slowly stopped using spear art. Moreover, the power of the 13 strikes made Lu Ming quite satisfied. The 13 strikes used the spear domain as the foundation. Using the spear, the attacks were like a storm, one after another. When cultivated to the highest level, the spear could continuously erupt with 13 waves of power. The destructive power was astonishing. Swoosh! In the next moment, a spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand. Infinite Dragon Spear. Buzz. The Infinite Dragon Spear vibrated and let out a loud buzzing sound. Lu Ming shook his head and sighed. No, the Infinite Dragon Spear's level isn't high enough. Although the second body had refined the Infinite Dragon Spear in the past, allowing it to reach the level of a level 9 spiritual weapon, for Lu Ming's current cultivation, an ordinary level 9 spiritual weapon wouldn't be able to unleash Lu Ming's strength. Instead, it would shatter the spiritual weapon due to the excessive power. I'll wait for the second body to fully recover before slowly refining and upgrading it. Lu Ming thought as he kept the Infinite Dragon Spear. Then, another spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand. This spear was an Emperor spiritual weapon that Lu Ming had obtained in the Great Emperor's secret realm. Buzz. The spear vibrated and made a buzzing sound. Lu Ming was quite satisfied. If there's a chance, I'll get a sacred weapon spear and a pair of sacred weapon gloves. Lu Ming thought. With a pair of sacred weapon gloves, he wouldn't be at a disadvantage when using the suppressing hell heaven skill. Immediately, Lu Ming carefully comprehended the mysteries of the 13 stored power strikes. But soon, Lu Ming received a message from Long Yuanshan. Long Yuanshan was looking for him. When he opened the door of the cave dwelling, he saw Long Yuanshan standing outside. "Ninth junior brother, Master is looking for you," Long Yuanshan said. Lu Ming nodded. He had been in seclusion for 7 days. It was time for the Cloud Dragon Valley Master to look for him. Lu Ming followed Long Yuanshan into the depths of the Cloud Dragon Valley. Soon, they arrived at the end of the Cloud Dragon Valley. There was a cave dwelling here. After entering the cave dwelling, they saw the Cloud Dragon Valley Master sitting on an ice platform. "Master, ninth junior brother is here. I'll take my leave." Long Yuanshan bowed and then left the place. Disciple greets Master. Lu Ming bowed to the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master smiled and nodded. He glanced at Lu Ming and said, "Not bad, your cultivation has reached the peak of the first layer Martial Emperor realm. Your foundation is solid. You will be able to break through to the second layer Martial Emperor realm soon." Lu Ming did not say anything. He only listened quietly. "Ming, show me your domain. Let me have a look." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Lu Ming nodded and unleashed the chaotic domain without hesitation. There was no need to hide the chaotic domain. He would unleash it whenever he encountered a strong enemy. Those with good eyesight would be able to recognize it. As expected, the primal chaos domain spread out. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's eyes widened as he exclaimed, "Primal chaos domain." It was obvious that the Cloud Dragon Valley Master was extremely shocked. After a while, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master finally calmed down and began to ponder with a frown. After more than 10 minutes, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master spoke again. "Ming, I didn't expect you to be so talented. You have mastered the legendary chaotic domain." Chapter 1457. Lu Ming smiled bitterly and rubbed his nose. The Valley Master had said that he had nothing to teach Lu Ming in the future. It seemed like he was destined to explore on his own. "Ming, you have to be careful. The stronger the domain, the harder it will be to cultivate it. Especially when breaking through to the next realm, it will be more difficult. It is the same for the chaotic domain. So you have to spend more time on the chaotic domain in the future." After pondering for a moment, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master warned seriously. Lu Ming nodded. He had already noticed this. "Also, from today onwards, you can enter any place in the Cloud Dragon Valley as you wish, including my library. There are all the cultivation experiences that I've accumulated along the way. You can go and comprehend them. Who knows, they might be of some help to you." The Valley Master said. "Thank you, Master." Lu Ming was overjoyed and bowed to express his gratitude. He could enter any place in the Cloud Dragon Valley and the Valley Master's cultivation experience. The Valley Master's cultivation was unfathomable. Lu Ming estimated that he was definitely not a bright sage. He might have surpassed the bright sage realm. The cultivation experience of such a person was definitely precious. If Lu Ming were to comprehend it, it would be of great help to his cultivation. At this moment, a jade token appeared in the Valley Master's hand and said, "This is your identity token. It contains your information and your contribution points. Take a look and see if it is correct." Lu Ming took the identity token and inserted his true yuan into it. A row of information appeared in his mind. It was his basic information. In the contribution points column, he had 15 million contribution points. It was the contribution points that he had exchanged for the sect treasure. There was no mistake about it. Lu Ming kept the identity token. "Ming, there is one thing that you have to take note of. Although I have accepted you as a core disciple and you have joined the Cloud Dragon Valley, the Cloud Dragon Valley is a part of the Divine Dragon Valley. So, for the first 2 years, you will still have to listen to the arrangements of the Divine Dragon Valley and complete some basic tasks. After 2 years, you will not have to do any tasks and can choose for yourself." The Valley Master said. Lu Ming nodded. This was very easy to understand. Lu Ming was not too surprised. As a new disciple, it was normal for them to contribute to the sect. Also, you have offended the people of Silver Dragon Valley. Those guys are narrow-minded. You have to be careful of them during this period of time. Their elders won't dare to interfere, but I won't interfere with the competition between the younger generation. You have to rely on yourself. Finally, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master gave another warning. "Thank you, Master. I will be careful." Lu Ming said. "All right, go ahead." Cloud Dragon Valley Master waved his hand. Lu Ming bowed and then left. 15 million contribution points, I can't waste them. Let's see if there are any true dragon materials for exchange. Lu Ming had many thoughts in his mind. If he had the materials from a true dragon, he would be able to upgrade his dragon god battle body. Lu Ming continued to fly outwards, intending to ask around at the Treasure Dragon Hall. Before he could fly far, a figure blocked in front of Lu Ming. It was a young lady in a snow-white dress. She looked like she was only 18 or 19 years old. She had a graceful figure and was very beautiful, like a fairy that had descended to the mortal world. Stop. The young lady opened her arms and blocked in front of Lu Ming. You are? Lu Ming stopped and asked. You are the new pro-disciple that Master has accepted? The young lady blinked her big eyes curiously and looked at Lu Ming carefully. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Judging from her tone, she should be another pro-disciple of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. Lu Ming nodded and said, That's right. I am the 9th disciple that Master has accepted, Lu Ming. It's really. Quick, call me senior sister. I am your 8th senior sister, Xuaningxin. I am no longer your junior sister. The young lady almost jumped up and laughed excitedly. Lu Ming was speechless. It turned out that she was his senior sister, but she was so young. In the end, Lu Ming had no choice but to cup his fists and say, Greetings, 8th senior sister. Good. Cuff cuff. Xuaningxin was overjoyed, but she still pretended to be mature. She glanced at Lu Ming and coughed a few times, saying, Junior brother, follow senior sister in the future. Senior sister will guarantee that you will have a good life. As she spoke, she patted her towering chest, causing it to shake violently. Lu Ming could not help but take a few more glances. However, Xuaningxin did not seem to notice it at all. She continued to pat her chest and said, Junior brother, I heard that your battle strength is not bad. You displayed great prowess in the great emperor's mystic realm. Come, let's spar a few moves. After speaking, she looked at Lu Ming with anticipation. Spar a few moves? Lu Ming was speechless. That's right. AI, there are too few people in our Cloud Dragon Valley. It's so boring. Those ordinary disciples don't even dare to fight with me. In the past 10 years, Master has only accepted 3 successor disciples. As for the other senior brothers, they are already so old and their cultivation levels are so high. I'm not their match at all. There's also that killing maniac. He's out there training and killing every day. Xuanning mumbled in her heart, but her mouth never stopped talking. Lu Ming was speechless. He quickly interrupted Xuaningxin and said, Senior sister, I have something to do. Next time. After speaking, he was about to leave. No, it has to be now. Today. Are you looking down on me? Xuaningxin stared and threw a punch at Lu Ming. Rumble. The punch was so powerful that it caused the space to tremble violently. So strong. Lu Ming was shocked. He did not dare to be careless. The chaotic domain spread out as he threw a punch at Xuaningxin. The two fists collided. Lu Ming's body shuddered as he felt a terrifying force surging toward him. His body shuddered and he was forced to take 9 steps back before he could regain his balance. However, Xuaningxin did not move at all. What a terrifying force! Lu Ming gasped a breath of cold air. Xuaningxin's strength was beyond his imagination. Most shockingly, he felt that Xuaningxin had only used her physical strength. She did not use much of her true energy. Her physical strength alone was enough to force him to take 9 steps back. Not bad. A first-layer martial royal realm cultivator was able to take a punch from me and only take 9 steps back. Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, your cultivation is too low. Xuaningxin murmured. She looked at Lu Ming curiously and said, Junior brother, you should work hard on your cultivation. Once your cultivation improves, you can spar with me. With that, without waiting for Lu Ming to speak, he left in a jog. Lu Ming was speechless. This senior sister was too weird. Most importantly, although the other party looked young, he was shockingly powerful. Even Lu Ming was taken aback by this. It seems that there are many geniuses in Yuanlu. Moreover, my cultivation is too low. Lu Ming thought to himself. The 9th junior brother, don't mind her. That girl is just like that. Chapter 1458. Second senior brother. Lu Ming smiled and said, I don't mind. Moreover, 8th senior sister's strength is profound. I admire her very much. 9th junior brother, let me tell you something. Long Yuanshan smiled mysteriously and said, actually, 8th junior sister is not human. Not human? Demon? Lu Ming's eyes moved as he whispered. 8th junior sister's true form is a dragon, a pure-blooded true dragon. Long Yuanshan said. What? A pure-blooded true dragon. Lu Ming was shocked. In the continent of God, Lu Ming had never met a pure-blooded divine beast. The pure-blooded divine beast was only 90% divine beast bloodline. However, 90% divine beast bloodline was not much different from a pure-blooded divine beast bloodline. A pure-blooded divine beast bloodline had an innate advantage and was incomparably powerful. Even a human's innate spiritual body was inferior to a pure-blooded divine beast bloodline, especially a terrifying existence like a true dragon. It was said that a true dragon was born with the strength of a spirit sea realm cultivator. If they did not cultivate, they would naturally grow to adulthood and enter the martial emperor realm. Once they cultivated, their achievements would be even higher. Moreover, after a pure-blooded divine beast bloodline reached the martial emperor realm, their physique would undergo another transformation and become even more terrifying. Of course, true dragons were also differentiated by talent. After entering the martial emperor realm, their physique was also differentiated by strength. Lu Ming felt that Xuanixin's physique was definitely not at the level of an inferior earth spiritual body. It had even surpassed the intermediate earth spiritual body. So she was a true dragon. No wonder she was so powerful. Yunlu, as expected of Yuan. Not long after I arrived, I met a pure-blooded true dragon. Then, there must be other pure-blooded divine beasts in Yuanlu, such as Qilins and phoenixes. Lu Ming's heart was filled with endless anticipation. Yuanlu would definitely be more exciting and brilliant than the continent of God. The rise of geniuses and the competition of many divine beasts made Lu Ming's blood boil. 9th junior brother, where are you going? Long Yuanshan asked. I'm going to the Treasure Dragon Palace to exchange for some useful things. Lu Ming said. Oh, I'm going to the Treasure Dragon Palace too. I'll take you there. Long Yuanshan smiled. All right. Lu Ming nodded and followed Long Yuanshan to the Treasure Dragon Palace. The Treasure Dragon Palace was located on top of a huge snowy mountain. The disciples of the Divine Dragon Valley could exchange their contribution points for treasures here. Of course, they could also exchange their treasures for contribution points. Soon, Lu Ming and Long Yuanshan arrived at the Treasure Dragon Palace. Outside the Precious Dragon Palace, there were many people coming and going. Fortunately, the palace was huge enough to accommodate so many people. So many experts. Lu Ming scanned the area with his spiritual sense and noticed that all the people here were Monarch Realm experts. As for those below the Monarch Realm, he didn't see a single one. There were counters all around the Treasure Dragon Palace. Junior brother, feel free to walk around. I still have things to do here. Long Yuanshan said. Senior brother, go ahead and do your work. Lu Ming nodded. Long Yuanshan nodded and walked towards a house. As for Lu Ming, he casually looked around. After looking around for a while, Lu Ming walked to a counter. A white-haired old man was sitting in front of the counter. Senior, may I ask if there are any spiritual liquids here? Lu Ming asked. Of course there are. There are various kinds of spiritual liquids recorded in this jade token. You can take your pick. The old man took out a jade token and handed it to Lu Ming. Lu Ming took it and scanned it with his spiritual sense. He noticed that there were hundreds of spiritual liquids recorded in it. The functions and effects of each spiritual liquid were clearly recorded. Lu Ming looked at them one by one. After a while, he returned the jade token to the old man. Senior, I need 1,000 Spirit Night. How do I exchange it? Lu Ming asked. 1,000 Spirit Night can promote the growth of spiritual herbs. It's something that alchemists need. It's very precious. 1 or 2,000 contribution points. The old man said. 8,000 contribution points is really expensive. Lu Ming murmured in his heart. 1 contribution point was equivalent to 100 mid-tier primal stones. 1,000 contribution points was equivalent to 100,000 mid-tier primal stones, and it was only 1 or 2 taels. The price was almost the same as the top-tier life elixir. However, in order to help the Tree of Enlightenment grow, it was worth it. Senior, I'll exchange it for 10 kilograms of 1,000 Spirit Night. Lu Ming said. All right, give me your identity medallion. The old man said. Lu Ming handed the badge to the old man. The old man took out a disc and scanned the badge before returning it to Lu Ming. Lu Ming discovered that the contribution points in the badge had decreased by 100,000, leaving him with 2,050,000 contribution points. Following this, the old man took out a jade jar and handed it to Lu Ming. The jade jar was filled with 1,000 Spirit Night, a total of 10 kilograms. Lu Ming put it away with a satisfied look. Senior, do you have any materials from a true dragon that are above the martial dominator realm, such as dragon bones, dragon blood, dragon marrow, etc.? Lu Ming whispered to the old man. Lu Ming had obtained dragon bones that were not full of spirituality when he was in the Divine Wilderness mainland. However, the dragon bones were not very powerful when they were alive. Furthermore, too much time had passed and most of their spirituality had been lost. That kind of dragon bone was not very useful to Lu Ming now. We do have materials from a true dragon that are above the martial dominator realm and full of Spirit Night, but there aren't many of them. Besides, the price is quite high. The old man said after a slight hesitation. Senior, I'm willing to exchange it. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. I'll ask around for you. The old man took out a sound-conducting jade talisman and transmitted the message. Soon, the old man received the message. According to your request, there's a dragon bone that weighs 30 kilograms. It's suspected that the true dragon's cultivation was in the sacred realm when it was alive, and its Spirit Night was full of Spirit Night, but the price is 2 million contribution points. Do you want it? The old man said. 2 million contribution points? Lu Ming was dumbfounded. A dragon bone weighing 30 kilograms was priced at 2 million contribution points. That was the price of 2 sacred weapons. However, the old man had mentioned that the true dragon was in the sacred realm when it was alive. No wonder it was so expensive. I'll do it. In the end, Lu Ming clenched his teeth. The old man glanced at Lu Ming in astonishment. Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the first layer martial dominator realm, but he was able to earn 2 million contribution points. Sure, give me a moment. The old man left the counter. Lu Ming knew that the old man was going to retrieve the dragon bone. A while later, the old man returned with a storage ring and handed it to Lu Ming. You can check it first. Lu Ming took the storage ring and scanned it with his spiritual senses. He discovered that there was a piece of snow-white dragon bone lying quietly in the storage ring, exuding a powerful spiritual essence. Vaguely, one could even see small dragons swimming on the dragon bones. This was definitely not the bone of an ordinary martial dominator realm true dragon. It was most likely left behind by a sacred realm true dragon. Lu Ming wore a joyful expression and handed his identity badge to the old man. Chapter 1459. Let's go back and refine it. I wonder what level my dragon god battle body can reach with this dragon bone? Lu Ming's heart was burning. After putting away the dragon bone, he did not delay and returned to the Cloud Dragon Valley. After entering the cave, Lu Ming first poured 5 kilograms of 10,000 spirit liquid on the Tree of Enlightenment before sitting down cross-legged. With a thought, the dragon bone appeared in front of Lu Ming. The dragon bone was crystal clear and a faint dragon roar could be heard from it, emitting a powerful spiritual essence. Great! Lu Ming's eyes lit up. His body emitted a powerful devouring force that enveloped the dragon bone. Immediately, strands of essence flew toward Lu Ming like tiny true dragons and flew into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming circulated the true dragon battle technique and the cultivation method of the dragon god battle body. He began to absorb and refine the essence to refine his spirit body. Just like that, time flew by day by day. As time passed, the size of the dragon bone gradually became smaller and the radiance on it gradually dimmed. Lu Ming's body emitted bursts of dragon roars and a layer of sacred radiance emanated from him. Lu Ming's spirit body was undergoing a transformation. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. Cracks appeared on the dragon bone and with a bang, it turned into a pile of powder. There was no more spiritual essence on it. At this moment, a deafening dragon roar could be heard from Lu Ming's body. The shadow of 9 dragons appeared on Lu Ming's body and surrounded Lu Ming's body. After a while, it entered Lu Ming's body and disappeared. The muscles all over Lu Ming's body were wriggling and his bones were cracking. It was only after a while that everything quieted down. At this moment, Lu Ming let out a long breath and opened his eyes. Mid-level Earth spiritual body. Lu Ming felt the powerful energy in his body and a thought flashed through his mind. Mid-level Earth spiritual body. Lu Ming's spiritual body had successfully completed its evolution and reached the mid-level Earth spiritual body. This was a transformation of the essence from a low-level Earth spiritual body to a mid-level Earth spiritual body. If others knew about this, it would probably cause a huge uproar. The essence of a spiritual body was difficult to improve. Ordinary martial emperors would temper their spiritual bodies while increasing their cultivation. When their cultivation increased, their spiritual bodies would also become stronger. However, this kind of increase was only a quantitative increase. For example, if a martial artist with a low-level Earth spiritual body increased his cultivation, his spiritual body's power would become stronger. However, he would still be a low-level Earth spiritual body. Advancing from a low-grade Earth spiritual body to a medium-grade Earth spiritual body was a qualitative improvement. Lu Ming had completed the improvement of his essence. The higher the essence level of the spirit body, the more powerful it would be. Moreover, when one's cultivation level increased, the extent of the improvement of the spirit body would also be greater. It was very, very difficult for a spirit body to improve its intrinsic quality. There were very few ways to improve one's spiritual body. Just like Di in the past, he obtained the cultivation method of the 10,000 spirit body by chance. It was a method that could improve the essence of the spirit body, but it was also very difficult. It required the blood and essence of 10,000 kinds of creatures. Di had spent 10,000 years but had not succeeded. Once he succeeded, his spiritual body would evolve into a low-level Earth spiritual body. It was rumored that there were some treasures of heaven and earth in the Yuan continent that could enhance the essence of one's spirit body. However, those treasures of heaven and earth were extremely rare and priceless. The dragon bones that cost 2 million contribution points can only improve one's spiritual body from a low-level Earth spiritual body to a mid-level Earth spiritual body. I don't know how many resources I will need to improve my spiritual body in the future. Lu Ming sighed. He had been looking forward to improving his spiritual body to a high-level Earth spiritual body. Now, it seemed like an extravagant hope. The resources and dragon essence needed to improve his dragon god battle body were much greater than he had imagined. Moreover, the further he progressed, the more dragon essence he would need to improve his spiritual body. The amount of dragon essence needed to improve his spiritual body from a mid-level Earth spiritual body to a high-level Earth spiritual body was 10 times more than the amount needed to improve his spiritual body from a low-level Earth spiritual body to a mid-level Earth spiritual body. Later on, if he wanted to improve his spiritual body to a heavenly spiritual body, he would need an astronomical figure. Just thinking about it gave Lu Ming a headache. Let's take it slow. After my cultivation has improved, I will go out and adventure more to earn origin stones and contribution points. This was Lu Ming's plan. Then, Lu Ming continued to cultivate. He comprehended the 13 strikes and the chaotic flipping sky seal. The chaotic flipping sky seal, like other realm martial techniques, was divided into 6 levels. Lu Ming was only at the first level and was about to break through to the second level. In the blink of an eye, another 10 days passed. Lu Ming had joined the Cloud Dragon Valley for more than a month. After 10 days of hard work, the chaotic flipping sky seal had successfully reached the second level. And Lu Ming had also reached the second level of the 13 strikes. With a casual swing of the long spear, he could release 4 forces in an instant. The power was astonishing. At this moment, Lu Ming received a message. He had a mission. The Dragon God Valley had assigned him a mission. Generally, new disciples would be given a mission by the sect within 3 months. Lu Ming followed the instructions of the mission and flew out of the Dragon God Valley. On a small snowy mountain, there were already a few people waiting there. These people also had the same mission as Lu Ming. "You are Lu Ming." Lu Ming landed. Some of them recognized Lu Ming. When Lu Ming had just joined the Dragon God Valley, he had caused a huge commotion. The Silver Dragon Valley Master and the Cloud Dragon Valley Master had personally come. In the end, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master had personally accepted Lu Ming as his disciple. Many people had been watching the battle, thus it was normal for some of them to recognize Lu Ming. "How should I address you?" Lu Ming brought his fists together and scanned the crowd. Apart from Lu Ming, there were 4 other people. One of them was a bulky man in his 30s with a buzz cut. His aura was the most intimidating among them. The other 3 were slightly younger. 2 of them were young men in their 20s and a young woman in her 20s. Both of them had a voluptuous figure. "I'm Su Long." The man with buzz cut introduced himself. Following this, the other 3 introduced themselves too. Of the 2 young men, one was called Zhang Kong and the other was called Fu Xing. The young woman was called Duan Yen. The few of them did not hide their cultivation level. Lu Ming scanned them with his spiritual senses and found out their cultivation level. Su Long's cultivation was the strongest, at the peak 3rd layer martial dominator realm. Meanwhile, Fu Xing and Duan Yen were both 3rd layer martial dominators. One was in the early stage, while the other was in the late stage. Zhang Kong's cultivation was at the peak 2nd layer martial dominator realm. Lu Ming was the weakest, with a cultivation of the peak 1st layer martial dominator realm. I believe everyone is aware of our mission. The Feng clan of the 6 Void Mountain is a subsidiary clan of the Dragon God Valley. A while ago, the patriarch of the Feng clan was murdered out of nowhere, and the Feng clan was unable to find any clues. A few days later, the 2nd master of the Feng clan was murdered out of nowhere too. The Feng clan panicked and asked for help from the Dragon God Valley. Our mission is to find the reason behind the deaths of the patriarch and the 2nd master of the Feng clan, and find the culprit, to ensure the safety of the Feng clan. Su Long briefly explained the mission this time. Lu Ming and the others nodded. They had seen the mission before. "All right, let's move out," Su Long said. Chapter 1460. The Feng clan of the 6 Void Mountain was located in the territory of the Divine Dragon Valley. It was a small clan that was affiliated to the Divine Dragon Valley and was quite far away from the Divine Dragon Valley. The 5 of them traveled day and night, and it took them 10 days to arrive at the Feng clan. Such an eerie aura. Duan Yen shuddered as they approached the Feng clan. The others frowned as they felt the air was exceptionally cold. Up ahead, there was a continuous stretch of palaces. A group of people came out to welcome them. The one leading the group was a young man with a pale face. He immediately bowed when he saw Lu Ming and the others. "Feng Yi of the Feng clan greets the envoys of the Divine Dragon Valley." "Don't mention it." Su Long waved his hand. After some introductions, the group knew that Feng Yi was the only son of the Feng clan's patriarch. The people who followed Feng Yi to welcome them were the higher-ups of the Feng clan. "Everyone, let's talk inside." Feng Yi led Lu Ming and the others into the Feng clan's residence. Such an eerie aura. Lu Ming frowned as he entered the Feng clan's residence. He could feel that the aura here was even colder. Did anything happen to the Feng clan recently? Su Long was the first to speak as the group took their seats in the main hall. 3 days ago, my 3rd uncle died too, Feng Yi said with a sorrowful expression. The others of the Feng clan wore terrified expressions. The Feng clan had no idea who they had offended. The higher-ups of the Feng clan had died mysteriously one after another, causing the Feng clan to fall into a state of panic. No one knew who would be the next one to die. "Do you know how they died?" Su Long asked. "No idea, we've checked carefully. There are no wounds, not even a single wound," Feng Yi said while shaking his head. "No wounds? How is that possible? Fu Xing said in disbelief. There really are no wounds. We've checked carefully. My father, my second uncle, and my third uncle are all the same. There are no wounds at all, as if they died suddenly. However, they are all martial dominator realm experts, so it's impossible for them to die suddenly. Someone must be behind this, Feng Yi said while clenching his teeth. Does the Feng clan have any enemies? Su Long asked. Our Feng family is considered relatively weak in this region of Six Void Mountain. Normally, when we do things, we tremble with fear. How could we dare to offend other forces? Therefore, our Feng family has always been on good terms with other families and forces. We virtually don't have any enemies, Feng said. Su Long, Lu Ming, and the others frowned. There were no enemies and no wounds, which meant that there were no clues. How could he investigate? Could it be that he had to wait for the rabbit to show up? Wait for the other party to attack again? The hall suddenly quieted down, and the atmosphere seemed a little heavy. I suggest that we open the coffin for an autopsy. Suddenly, a voice broke the silence. The one who spoke was Lu Ming. Open the coffin for an autopsy? Everyone looked at Lu Ming. I don't think that's a good idea. My father and the others have just been buried not too long ago. It's a little disrespectful to open a tavern now. Feng said, I also agree with opening the coffin for an autopsy. Otherwise, without any clues at all, how are we supposed to investigate the matter? If the other party doesn't make a move after that, wouldn't this matter be left unsettled? Sulong said. Then, Fu Xing, Duan Yen, and Zhang Kong spoke one after another, agreeing to open the coffin for an autopsy. Feng Yi's expression changed, but in the end he gritted his teeth and nodded, agreeing to this matter. Under the lead of Feng Yi and the Feng family's upper echelons, the group headed to the back mountain. Soon, they arrived at the burial place of the Feng family's patriarch and the others. Feng Yi arranged for the Feng family's men to act. Soon, 3 purple gold coffins were placed in front of Su Long and the others, and the coffin lids were already opened. 3 middle-aged men were lying quietly inside the purple gold coffins. The 3 of them were emperors, and their corpses wouldn't be corroded without at least 100 years of age. Lu Ming, Su Long, and the others carefully examined the corpses. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyebrows twitched, as if he had discovered something. His eyes were filled with doubt, but he didn't say anything. Then, everyone carefully examined the corpses. Sure enough, there weren't any wounds, not even the slightest. No wounds. Lu Ming frowned. He recalled the men of the Tsang Emperor in the Martial Emperor's mystic ground, who had died in the Martial Emperor's mystic ground without any wounds. Lu Ming speculated that those people had been killed by the soul-destroying Mage Emperor. However, Lu Ming didn't think that the soul-destroying Mage Emperor had escaped from the Martial Emperor realm and came here to kill a low-level Martial Dominator realm cultivator every few days. It was impossible. The soul-destroying Mage Emperor, destroying his soul? By the way, could it be that these people's souls were destroyed? Lu Ming's heart shuddered as he thought of this possibility. His eyes flickered with astonishment. He had a feeling that this matter wasn't as simple as it seemed. After a careful examination, the Feng family's men buried the 3 patriarchs, and the group returned to the main hall. Su Long, Fu Xing, and the others frowned, as they couldn't find any clues. Strange, there aren't any wounds. Could it be that their souls were destroyed? Su Long said in a serious tone. The others remained silent. It was highly possible. If the culprit has a grudge against the Feng family and is here to seek revenge, the next target would most likely be you, young Master Feng. Fu Xing said, causing Feng Yi's face to turn even paler. What should I do? Esteemed envoys, please save me. Whatever you want, my Feng family will try our best to satisfy you, even if it means going bankrupt. Feng Yi begged. Don't worry. Since we've accepted the mission, we'll definitely complete it and guarantee your safety. Su Long said. How about this? Why don't we take turns protecting young Master Feng? Junior brother Lu Ming and junior brother Zhang Kong will be in a group, Fu Xing and I will be in a group, and senior brother Su Long will be alone. How does that sound? Duan Yan's gaze shifted as she spoke. I'm fine with it. Fu Xing let out a smile. Lu Ming raised his eyebrows slightly. This grouping was quite interesting. Among the five, he and Zhang Kong had the lowest cultivation, but they were grouped together. This didn't make sense. The corners of Lu Ming's lips gradually curled into a smile. The mission was quite strange to begin with. Among the five of them, Su Long, Fu Xing, and Duan Yan were all third-layer martial dominator realm cultivators, while he was only a first-layer martial dominator realm cultivator. The arrangement didn't make sense at all. Logically speaking, since Su Long, Fu Xing, and Duan Yan were all third-layer martial dominators, it implied that the mission could only be completed with a cultivation of the third-layer martial dominator realm. What was the meaning of placing a first-layer martial dominator realm cultivator in the mission? Could it be that someone was manipulating the mission? Or could it be that someone had purposely placed Su Long, Fu Xing, and Duan Yan here? Lu Ming immediately recalled Yin Feng and He Yu. Chapter 1461. He thought of these situations since the moment he saw Su Long and the rest. It was just that Duan Yan's arrangement now gave him a reminder. Okay, I have no objections. Lu Ming's mind spun as he directly agreed. Zhang Kong mused for a moment and also nodded in agreement. Okay, then let's do that. If the other party is really seeking revenge, then the next target will definitely be young Lord Feng. As long as the other party appears, we'll make it difficult for the other party to escape. Su Long announced. Starting from that night, everyone took turns to guard the surroundings of Feng Yi's bedroom. On the first day, it was Lu Ming and Zhang Kong. On the second day, it was Fu Xing and Duan Yan. On the third day, it was Su Long. That night, everything was calm and peaceful. Nothing happened at all. It was the same for the second day and the third day. Just like this, 6 days passed in a blink of an eye. On the seventh day, it was Lu Ming and Zhang Kong's turn again. The night sky was quiet, the cold wind whistling. In a hidden corner, Lu Ming sat cross-legged. His aura was restrained, and his spiritual sense spread out, enveloping the entire Feng family mansion. On the other side was Zhang Kong. Very soon it was late at night. Suddenly, a shadow flashed past in the night sky. Swoosh! Right at this time, Lu Ming suddenly opened his eyes. His figure dashed out, as fast as lightning, pouncing towards that shadow. And on the other side, Zhang Kong clearly sensed it too, pouncing out at the same time as Lu Ming. That shadow seemed to know that he was discovered and also swiftly rushed out, his speed shockingly fast. 3 figures, one in front and one behind, rushed out of the Feng family mansion and rushed towards 6 Void Mountain. 6 Void Mountain was incomparably huge. Inside, there were countless dangerous peaks, and the terrain was extremely complicated. Once that shadow rushed out of the Feng family mansion, it rushed straight into 6 Void Mountain. From high up in the sky, the other party's figure could not be seen at all. One could only similarly rush into 6 Void Mountain to chase after the other party. Lu Ming and Zhang Kong rushed into 6 Void Mountain one after another. Their auras firmly locked onto the other party, chasing all the way. But the other party's speed was shocking, and he seemed to be very familiar with 6 Void Mountain's terrain. Turning left and right in 6 Void Mountain, the 2 people could not catch up at all for a while. I'll go ahead and block them. You chase after them from behind. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Lu Ming, and then he soared into the sky. Black wings stretched out from his back, and with a flap, Lu Ming flew forward at an extremely fast speed. His speed suddenly increased by several times. Lu Ming wanted to rush to the front and intercept the other party, so that the other party had no way out. But at this moment, in the vast mountains below, a shrill scream rang out. It was from Zhang Kong. Lu Ming's expression changed. His figure swooped down, rushing towards the source of the sound. Bang! Lu Ming landed in a valley. The voice just now came from here, but now, there was no one here. There's blood. Lu Ming saw blood. According to the aura of the blood, it was Zhang Kong. But there was only blood and no one. Lu Ming's spiritual sense spread out, but he did not sense anything at all. Not only did that person from before disappear, Even Zhang Kong's aura also vanished without a trace. Lu Ming frowned. Just this short while, the other party and Zhang Kong actually disappeared without a trace together. It was too strange. Lu Ming speculated that the other party was absolutely incomparably familiar with Six Void Mountain. There was even a secret hiding place nearby. Lu Ming started searching in the vicinity. But after searching for a while, he still found nothing. Lu Ming speculated that Zhang Kong was most likely dead. Helpless, Lu Ming could only return to the Feng family. Just returning to the Feng family, he saw a group of people waiting at the Feng family's gate. Feng Yi, as well as the Feng family's other powerhouses. Su Long, Fu Xing, and Duan Yen were all there. The three people faintly protected Feng Yi in the middle. The moment they saw Lu Ming return, everyone's eyes lit up. Junior apprentice brother Lu Ming, how was it? Did you catch the culprit? Su Long asked. Lu Ming shook his head and said, no, the other party is incomparably familiar with this area of Six Void Mountain and did not catch up. Did not catch up? What about junior apprentice brother Zhang Kong? Duan Yen frowned and asked. Zhang Kong is most likely dead. Lu Ming said, recounting the matter of them chasing that shadow previously. That's not right. After Lu Ming finished speaking, Duan Yen opened her mouth coldly, staring at Lu Ming with an unfriendly gaze. What's not right? Lu Ming said. You said that the culprit was able to inflict serious injuries and even kill junior apprentice brother Zhang Kong within an instant, but you could not find any trace of the culprit. That's not right. How could the culprit disappear so quickly? Secondly, you said that you could not find any trace of junior apprentice brother Zhang Kong and the culprit. May I ask, junior apprentice brother Zhang Kong's cultivation is at the peak second layer martial dominator realm, but the culprit was able to inflict serious injuries or even kill him in an instant. On the other hand, your cultivation is only at the first layer martial dominator realm. Why didn't the culprit continue to target you, instead allowing you to search the place before letting you go? Why didn't the culprit kill you too? Duan Yen asked coldly. At the side, the others also looked puzzled. Are you suspecting me? Lu Ming let out a hollow laugh. That's right, you chased after the culprit together with Zhang Kong. Zhang Kong, whose cultivation was higher, was killed, but you were still alive. I suspect that you're a coward who chose to leave Zhang Kong alone when he was in danger. Furthermore, you were the one who killed Zhang Kong, and you were trying to rob him of his treasures, right? Duan Yen scolded loudly, a cunning look flashing in her eyes. Lu Ming, is that true? Fu Xing stared at Lu Ming with an unfriendly look. Are they trying to make things difficult for me? Lu Ming let out a hollow laugh in his heart. It turned out that Duan Yen and Fu Xing were up to something. They were purposely picking on him. These two were most likely from the Yin Feng faction. How ridiculous! If you want to condemn someone, you can always find a pretext. What are you trying to do? Just tell me. Lu Ming said calmly. Humph, I'm right. So you have nothing to say now. Since you're a suspect, you better seal your cultivation and let us watch over you. Once the mission is over, we'll bring you back to the Dragon God Valley to receive your punishment. Duan Yen said. Hee, seal my cultivation? Sure, come here, let's see if you can seal my cultivation. Lu Ming let out a hollow laugh. His eyes flickered with an icy murderous intent. Sealing his cultivation? Didn't that mean they could do whatever they wanted to him? Why would Lu Ming seal his cultivation? How ridiculous! Are you trying to resist? Duan Yen snapped coldly. Previously, she had heard that although Lu Ming had only ranked up to the martial dominator realm not long ago, his strength was shocking. Even geniuses like He Yu were no match against Lu Ming in the martial emperor mystical ground. Although her cultivation was 2 layers higher than Lu Ming's, she was not confident that she could defeat him in a battle. Nonsense, if I say you're guilty, would you be willing to kneel down before me? Lu Ming let out a hollow laugh. Humph, you're the most suspicious person in Zhang Kong's death today. You should give us an explanation. Duan Yen snapped. Explanation? Who do you think you are? Why should I give you an explanation? Lu Ming said disdainfully. Duan Yen and Fu Xing's faces turned unpleasant. All right, Today's incident might not be junior brother Lu Ming's fault. Duan Yen, stop guessing. Our priority now is to find the culprit and complete the mission. Chapter 1462. Duan Yen and Fu Xing seemed to be afraid of Su Long. They glanced coldly at Lu Ming, walked to the side, and did not continue to ask. Now we can basically confirm that the other party is here for revenge. The next target is young Lord Feng. Su Long spoke again, causing Feng Yi's face to turn pale. Esteemed envoys, you must save me. Feng Yi cried out with a look of horror on his face. Don't worry, judging from the previous situation, the other party only wants to sneak attack at night, which means that they are not very strong and are afraid of us. Now we have to lure them here. Su Long said, Lure? Feng Yi said, we'll set up a formation around young Lord Feng's bedroom. Once the other party comes and steps into the formation, it'll be like catching a turtle in the wind. Su Long said confidently. Feng Yi's eyes lit up and said, that's right, why didn't I think of it? My Feng family also has a few 9th grade inscribers who can set up the formation together. I also cultivate the Tao of inscription, and I can lend you a hand. Duan Yen stepped out and said. Lu Ming just listened, and a faint light flashed in the depths of his eyes. He did not say anything and did not say that he would help set up the formation. Now, his second body was almost healed and was cultivating in the mountain and river diagram. Okay, then let's take action now. Su Long said. Immediately, the Feng family's inscribers and Duan Yen set up a formation in Feng Yi's bedroom. They also used various concealment formations to conceal the aura of the formation. If one did not observe carefully, one would not be able to see the formation. They were busy until the second night before they finished setting up the formation. That night, Lu Ming and the others did not guard near Feng Yi's bedroom. Instead, they returned to their rooms to rest. Guarding near Feng Yi would only alert the enemy. In this way, there was no movement after 2 days. Until the third night. Help! Suddenly, a cry for help cut through the quiet night sky. It was Feng Yi's voice. Lu Ming, who was cultivating, suddenly opened his eyes and rushed out. As soon as he rushed out, he saw a figure rushing into the sky from Feng Yi's bedroom. This figure was still holding Feng Yi in his hand and flying toward the 6th Void Mountain. At this moment, Su Long, Fu Xing, and Duan Yen appeared and chased after the figure with extreme speed. Lu Ming also chased after the figure. One chasing and one fleeing, they rushed into the 6th Void Mountain in a blink of an eye. Once they rushed to the range of 6th Void Mountain, the other party swooped down, charging into the mountain forest. Lu Ming and the other 3 followed closely behind, rushing into the forest. Help! Feng Yi shouted. In the night sky, Lu Ming and the others could clearly see that the figure in front of them was wearing a loose black robe. He grabbed Feng Yi and continued to move forward at an extremely fast speed. In the dark forest, he was like a ghost. Today, you won't be able to escape. Surrender! Su Long shouted. The true essence in his body surged and his speed increased. In the blink of an eye, the group had traveled thousands of miles in the 6th Void Mountain. Lu Ming and the others were getting closer and closer to the black-robed man. Stop! At this moment, Lu Ming shouted. Su Long, Duan Yen, and Fu Xing jumped in fright and involuntarily stopped. Lu Ming, what are you doing? What's the meaning of this? Duan Yen reprimanded Lu Ming. What are you shouting for? You'll know when you see that person. Lu Ming said indifferently. Duan Yen and the others looked forward and couldn't help but be stunned. Because at this moment, the black-robed man also stopped and didn't continue to escape. Strange, Lu Ming stopped. Why didn't the black-robed man seize the opportunity to escape? Why did he stop? Su Long, Duan Yen, and Fu Xing were full of doubts. Because there's a great killing formation in front of us. Once we step in, we'll die without a doubt. Lu Ming said. What? Great killing formation? Su Long and the other two's faces changed wildly. Duan Yen looked carefully and said, Impossible, there's no trace of a formation in front. It's impossible for there to be a great formation. If there really was one, how could I not see it? Lu Ming, don't talk nonsense here. Oh, if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and try. Lu Ming smirked coldly. Duan Yan's expression changed. Seeing how confident Lu Ming was, she became doubtful and didn't dare to go forward. She wouldn't joke around with her life. Su Long and Fu Xing were also doubtful. Hee, I didn't expect this formation to be so well hidden and still be discovered by you guys. As expected of a disciple of the Dragon God Valley. The black-robed man in front of them laughed coldly, his voice hoarse and unpleasant to the ears. For you, the Feng clan is a subsidiary clan of my Dragon God Valley. You dared to kill a member of the Feng clan, which means you're going against my Dragon God Valley. I'll give you a chance now, let Feng Yi go. Su Long said coldly. Hee, a disciple of the Dragon God Valley, how impressive. The black-robed man smirked. Hee, don't pretend anymore. Right then, Lu Ming sneered and said, You've been plotting all this while. From the moment we stepped into the Feng family, no, from the moment you sought help from the Divine Dragon Valley, you've been plotting all this while. Your goal is to lure us here and into that array. Am I right, master of the Feng family? Lu Ming's words made Su Long, Duan Yan, and Fu Xing dumbfounded. Feng clan's patriarch? How was that possible? Lu Ming, what nonsense are you talking about? Feng clan's patriarch, we saw it with our own eyes, he's already dead. Duan Yan reprimanded. Who said that the person we saw was the real Feng clan's patriarch? Lu Ming smiled faintly. This, Su Long, Duan Yan, and the others fell silent. Indeed, who said that the person they saw was the real Feng clan's patriarch? If the person they saw wasn't the real Feng clan's patriarch, then wouldn't Feng Yi be? Their cold gazes fell on Feng Yi. At this time, the black-robed man had already put Feng Yi down. Feng Yi wasn't injured at all. I didn't expect you to see through my plan even though it was so well hidden. The black-robed man suddenly sighed and removed the hood covering his head. Su Long, Duan Yan, and Fu Xing's eyes narrowed. Sure enough, it was the Feng clan's patriarch. He looked exactly the same as the Feng clan's patriarch they saw when they opened the coffin. In other words, the Feng clan's patriarch they saw when they opened the coffin was a fake. In the martial world, using special methods to alter another person's appearance was a simple matter. In the martial world, one's aura was the most important factor in identifying people. Appearances could change, but aura remained the same. However, they had never seen the Feng clan's patriarch before, thus they couldn't recognize his aura. Therefore, it was easy for the Feng clan to find a fake person to impersonate the Feng clan's patriarch. Young man, my plan can be said to be flawless. I really want to know, how did you find out? The Feng clan's patriarch looked at Lu Ming with curiosity, but he wasn't flustered. Flawless? In my opinion, it's full of flaws. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.